What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by us. I know that sounds weird. We've got a new t-shirt out in our partnership with Blip Shift. We have a new Smoking Tire t-shirt. It's on sale for 2 weeks only. This is week 1, the week of January 27th. And so until I think it's the second week in February, you can get it. You can go to blipshift.com/TST or go to thesmokingtire.com and click on the store tab. It is the Smoking Tire logo stylized into a beautiful John Player special style livery. I'm a fan of it. We have a new shirt every month coming out with Blip Shift for at least the next 6 months. Some of the designs are really cool. We're really stoked about it. So blipshift.com/TST or thesmokingtire.com and then click on the store tab to check out our newest shirt. It's on sale for only 2 weeks and then it's gone forever. And you can actually get it as a long sleeve, a short sleeve, a hoodie. Blip Shift offers international shipping, and so it's not just a t-shirt. You can actually get the logo on some other type items of clothing. We are also brought to you by Dillon Optics sunglasses. Those sweet sunglasses I'm wearing in every video with the matte finish lens. They have 2 new frame styles for 2019. Zach and Tim have been rocking them, and they are dope. Same matte finish lenses. You can get those lenses in silver, black, green, gold, blue, and they're working on red. They keep telling me red's coming soon. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited for red personally. And of course, aviator style or plastic, more kind of beachwear style frames. They got it all. Go to smokingtire.com and the Dillon banner under the partners tab. I wish there was a slicker way to do this, but their website is a little OG. And so this is how they track it back. So we can get you the free t-shirt. If you buy a pair of Dillons this way, go to smokingtire.com. Again, click on the Dillon banner under the partners tab. I'll give you a free Smoking Tire t-shirt if you buy a pair of Dillon optics. Okay, on this episode, this is taking a bit of a left turn from our normal content. My lovely fiance Hannah got me into a radio show by a dude named Christan James Hand. And this guy is like a career musician and radio DJ, and he has like the perfect radio voice, drives me nuts. And he does a show called The Session where he breaks down tracks of famous rock songs using the original master recordings. So like you'll listen to just the drums and then just the bass and then just the guitar. So you can really learn a lot and hear a lot of nuance about some of these awesome songs. And I was introduced to him personally by our friend Jason Cammisa. Today, we've got both of them in studio. Some of you are going to hate this because we're talking about music for most of the time, but you know, cars and music go well together. So there is car talk at the second half of the show. It's mostly music, but I really enjoyed my chat with Mr. Christan James Hand and Jason Cammisa on the Smoking Tire Podcast. Smoking Tire Podcast on a fucking Thursday. What's happening, everybody? The sun is shining, and it's a good day to burn your dome when you forget to put sunscreen on your head and driving around in a Lamborghini. Christan James Hand, hello, sir.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Bringing that perfect radio tone.
Yeah, it's really weird that everybody seems to think I have a great radio voice.
You do.
I'm convinced that I sound like an overweight lesbian, and I've had to listen to my voice for my entire career, which is horrible.
If you animated an overweight lesbian on like a Seth MacFarlane show, I could see that. Someone I'd like to see animate that.
Here's the thing: if we're going to
do have a good perfect radio voice.
He has a perfect radio voice.
Jason
Cammisa
in the house,
and if we're going to start a fake rift between me and Johnny, if you have to listen to your perfect radio voice all the time and it drives you crazy, imagine what happens when Johnny has to listen to his.
I don't know what is Johnny's voice.
Hi there! Come on. Okay, I'm done. He's now actually going to be mad at me.
Oh, that was so funny. That was so good. Imagine what it's like to actually watch yourself.
When you look like
when
this.
It gets,
yeah. That.
Yeah. When you look like
I mean, everyone wants to.
Like
this is the joke. You should be the one in front of cameras because you're like fucking Everyone wants to
no,
fuck you.
look
Now
at that
he is.
guy. That guy
That's
is
a really bad
terrible.
angle.
That's an awful.
He walks down the
He was
street
only
and women
the
ovulate. They
finest
just
video gear.
There's eggs flying everywhere. It's disgusting. It's fucking annoying.
It's not true.
No,
But,
your radio voice has got like just a hint of UK, right?
Right.
There's a hint
Yeah.
of British. And then
it's a
some
mutt.
and then some fucking Harvard or something.
New York.
There's some real
New York. Long Island.
some real high society schooling. In
No,
that
it's
shit.
white trash, Long Island.
How dare you?
Aren't you
sir?
Long Island?
I was certainly not the white trash part of Long Island. I was
pardon me.
Billy Joel had a fucking guest house in. A vacation house in
Are you in
Belterre.
Sag Harbor? Is that where you're from?
I was in Port Jefferson.
Oh yeah. All right.
So we were
you
the
go.
gateway to the North Shore, ladies and gentlemen.
So much for white trash. I tried.
How dare you?
Listen, you're the first time on this podcast.
Yes.
My second. So therefore,
True.
I have to haze you.
You
got
win.
seniority.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got seniority.
Man, this,
dick to
I hate
you.
this fucking hazing. I can't wait to do it to someone else.
Right. Plus, in all honesty, Christian's kind of the coolest person in the world. For those of you guys who haven't heard of him yet.
So, okay, backstory. My fiance Hannah is a master of doing puzzles. Like a master. Like I've seen her drop 1,000-piece solo in a day. Master of puzzles. I'm not fucking around.
Drop 1,000 pieces a day.
Wait.
That's a
I'm
lyric
just
that
very
Kendrick
different.
Lamar
Yeah,
needs to get into the song immediately.
What is he trying
There
to
you go.
say? Does he mean kilos?
He just said he
puzzle pieces, bitch. Puzzle pieces.
in a day.
So she's really good at puzzles. She puts on like podcasts and stuff while she's doing fucking puzzles, and I can hear them in the other room while I'm working and doing whatever. And I started hearing, the perfect radio voice over here, and what his show is basically deconstructing really famous, mostly rock songs. Right? Would that
Yep.
describe it accurately? Track by track, instrument by instrument, isolating shit, which I think is one of the fucking coolest things you can do on a radio show.
You know why?
you.
Because it takes a song that you thought you knew inside and out, and you know every note and every measure and every run and everything, and he fucks it up for you because he plays them individually and it makes you realize you don't know shit.
Yeah.
First of all,
It
about
could
the
also
song
be
you
called
thought.
Christian Appreciates the Bass Player. Could be the
that's
other
it.
name.
Ding, 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 ding.
Every time.
He does do it.
It's the guy, man.
But he also, and then you put it back together and you realize not only do we know nothing about the song, but we knew nothing about how it's constructed, why it's constructed, and why anything was different. I've listened
thank
to
you.
400 hours.
Did you prepare that?
No, I've listened to all this fucking
good.
thousands of hours of
Yes.
shit. I make all of my friends listen to it.
Yeah. So
and they all
Hannah
do the
started
same thing.
listening to this shit and got me turned on to it, and then you brought this fool to Radwood, and I was like, "Hey, that's the guy." Oh no! First, Hannah took me to your live
You went
show.
to see a live one, yes.
And I was very impressed. It helped when you had slides and stuff as a visual. That was helpful as well.
Thank you.
You did fucking ABC by Jackson 5 and Thriller.
Yeah.
ABC
Mind blower.
is a ridiculously complicated song.
You'd never think.
It's madness.
You would never ever think that ABC by the Jackson 5 is complicated. That song is off the fucking wall
Off the charts.
complicated.
Yeah, no, it's Wilton Felder bass line, man. That guy's a killer.
It is crazy.
See, already with the bass guy.
It's every time. The
And
bass
then how
player's
many
his secret
tracks
weapon.
are there on Thriller?
Thriller is
30?
no, it's that's.
And you mean individual music tracks in
Yeah.
the song, not how
It's-
many songs on the album.
well, that's
Yeah. No, I meant yes. Sorry.
what I have is there's 64, but that is actually post a lot of bouncing of the background harmonies and all that stuff. So I would imagine that it was. I think they had 3, because Quincy had all the power in the universe at that time. So I think they had 3 24-track Sony decks synced together because it was like the first time that they'd been able to do that. So whatever that is, and then bounce it all down and then keep going. So
Absurd.
it's genius.
this would be Quincy Jones,
Quincy
Quincy
Jones.
Jones.
Q, as he's known in the business.
who's amazing.
Who is? I actually had the pleasure of seeing him inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I think I told that story I think at the show where they had like a bunch of slides beforehand, and the first slide that they brought up of him was him arranging the microphone for Frank Sinatra at the age of like 17 years old. And if you haven't seen that Quincy Jones documentary that's on HBO, I think, it's on Netflix, watch it because it is mind-blowing how deep that dude is in the music industry. Like, it doesn't exist without him. He walked into the studio when they came to do Thriller, and he said, "We have to save the record label industry." And he did, because that thing sold fucking boatloads of records around the world.
So this show was awesome. That what he just did there, he does that for 90 minutes in the fucking show.
Well, and I should also say, speaking of dropping 1,000 and women dropping eggs all over the place, I was at your birthday party at your house.
Dropping
And-
eggs, what?
Hold on. I'll get there.
I know where you're at. Yeah.
Right? Come on.
He's
Bear
call
with
back
me.
to
Call back
ovaries being
before.
thrown.
Oh,
at
right,
Christian.
I was at
ovaries,
your birthday
right.
party, and I was leaving early to go to watch Christian dissect a song. And Hannah said, "Oh my God, you're going to see Christian?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's a friend of mine." And the flow of eggs,
Oh yes.
bouncing all over your kitchen was unbelievable. And I'm like, "Well,
Man.
leave
your boyfriend's
birthday party and come to this
the
with
show.
me because I think he actually has
It's
a
a
couch up front
dangerous
safe for
game
me."
with
And
my fiance because she'll take any excuse to leave any party.
she thought about it. I'm just saying.
Did she
thought
consider it?
about it.
Nice.
She did.
Yeah.
She did.
What was that? Which one did you come to that time?
That was the one where you had the couch up front for me and humiliated me.
Oh yes, yes. My
great.
parents will be in that one on Saturday.
Well,
night.
she'll be coming to Saturday anyway.
Sweet.
So
I look
anyway,
forward to
then
it.
we found out you're into cars because you came to Radwood.
Yes,
and
I love
and now
cars.
here we are.
And,
And you sent me fucking 50 sessions to listen to.
Yeah, the
on my
hour-longs.
road trip, I blasted through so many of them.
Which,
the final countdown.
Oh, the final
rules.
countdown one is one of my favorites.
You
Yeah,
can't-
there's.
it'll be fucked in your head for.
Every song
Well, and
ruined.
for just like to give people some context, I've only listened to 2 of your shows, which was today, and I only heard about your show a couple days ago. From in my defense, but it was like Blink 182, and then the
Oh,
other
yeah.
side was Jefferson Airplane.
Of course.
So they're like the spectrum you cover is amazing.
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter what age you are, what kind of music you're really into, is you kind of deconstruct all the genres, and that's really rad.
Thank you. Yeah, I've always felt bad for people that can't find something in every genre to enjoy because that means you've closed off an entire biosphere of music to yourself. I mean, if you can't, I'll guarantee you, if you sat for long enough, you could find a metal band that you were into. You could find a country act that you're into. You could find, a hip hop act or a punk act. I mean, there's just amazing music all around. Like, I'd walk into people's houses back when CDs existed, and there'd be like 10 CDs in their fucking CD collection, and I'd be like, I don't understand, because I go to fucking Amoeba and I'll have a fucking panic attack because I'll stand on the balcony and look out over the hundreds of thousands of CDs and know that there must be at least 10,000 of my favorite songs that I will never ever get to hear because they're buried in fucking CDs that I would never get to.
Well, how do you find out in a sea of CDs at Amoeba Music or records or whatever or iTunes menus? How do you find new music?
What I used to do at Amoeba was there's a rack there where they sell like you can get 5 for $5, and if you get 7, the last 2 are free. So I would just grab shit by the artwork because I had the philosophy.
Well, that's how I buy wine. That works.
Like the label is either because
Most people buy everything.
This is the interesting thing about
cars.
the artwork on a CD is that sometimes nobody in the band knows what they're doing, so the artwork is really fucking terrible. Like one of my favorite bands, Elephant Ride, who you will get to hear stuff from on Saturday night. And then, the reason I listened to their record was because the album artwork was so fucking terrible that I was like, this can't be as bad as this album art.
Yeah,
And
is the music bad enough to live up to this album
terrible,
cover?
right. So, or there's the band that has an understanding and they make amazing album art and their band is incredible. So there's, I'm trying to think of the last one. East Coast Athletic League, I think, was a band that I found whose cover art was so dope, and then I listened to it. And the thing is that if you listen through all 12, all you need to do is find one good song to justify $1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would just go and I would buy like $20 a CD. So I'd have like 30 CDs, and I would just bang through them at home. I give every song 20 seconds. It's the radio test. If it doesn't do the fucking job in 20 seconds, I don't want to hear it.
Don't bore us, get to the chorus.
Exactly. So you just bang through it.
You've been studying.
Eventually you're bound to find something that you're going to enjoy on it. And then, Spotify and the music services, the algorithm on Spotify is pretty good, and I've found probably 10 or 12 new songs in the past 6 months that have led to either half albums that I really, really enjoy or full albums that I really, really enjoy, which is a very rare circumstance in this day and age.
Well, considering how much music you're going through, that's not that much.
No, but to find a full album, man, is a great rarity. Like if you think about how much I have 5,000 CDs in my apartment, and
Do you really?
And I will guarantee
is that
you,
a full bedroom? That's got to be a full bedroom.
It's a
pretty
whole
much, right?
wall.
It's actually the bed frame. He just sleeps on the CDs.
all the furniture is made out of CDs as well. The only thing that isn't is the coasters. Those are actually coasters. But
Can't damage the music. What are you doing?
Come on, it's not a coaster. It's a fucking CD. So, but I would say out of those thousands, I did a thing on Facebook for a while where I was like putting up albums that I really liked, start to finish, and I'd hazard a guess that there's probably only 100 full records out of that. It's a full album,
Full
start
album.
to finish.
Do you have to like every track
yes,
on
you
it?
can't. There's no FFs, as my ex-girlfriend used to call
What
them. Like,
can you?
have
What
to,
is offhand? What are your newer? Some of the newer ones that pass this.
the past muster on that
yeah.
would be the Restorations, which is a band from the East Coast, just put out a record that was fucking amazing. Actually, the one that has blown my mind, because last year was the first year in a while that I had a full album that was my album of the year and a song from the same album. And that's the Japan Droids. And the Japan Droids' last fucking record is a barn burner. It might even be on my 10.
Japan Droids.
It's a
You?
two-dude
Camissa?
combination out of Canada. And I hate fucking bands with two people. Like, we're over it, assholes. Get a fucking bass player, for fuck's sakes. What the fuck is wrong with you? And the thing that's really annoying about the fucking Japan Droids is that live it's two dudes, and the drummer's sick, and the guitarist is amazing, and his voice is sick, and it's bombastic, and it's great. And then on the record, they have a fucking bass player. So if you have a
there's
fucking
studio-
bass player on the
Yeah,
fucking record,
they don't bring him to the stage.
They don't bring him to the stage.
Oh, come on.
Like, pay
Yeah.
the dude $1,000 a week, you pricks. Like, take a fucking, put a cup out
what
after the
was-
show and get him paid
is
for
the
his
What
show.
was
Dillon.
that documentary? What band is that? Where the whole band is
Milli
only
Vanilli?
the front man, and he just gets like session guys to play with. Filter,
No,
right?
Ghost too.
Ghost also.
Ghost
Yeah.
is that Filter?
Filter
Richard
was
Patrick.
Yeah, it's just one guy, and then
Richard
he just
Patrick-
gets like all these random dudes and underpays all of them for gigs.
Oh,
Ugh.
Richard Patrick. I've had 3 really, really bad interviews in my career. One of them was John Doe of X at Knott's Berry Farm, which is the worst place to put John Doe of X. And I was there because the radio station had been hired to promote like a new fucking ride. So John Doe of X didn't want to be there, and I don't give a fuck about X. So it was like the two of us, which just shouldn't have
But how do
been.
you feel about roller coasters?
Roller coasters, I'm all right with. This was like the thing where you go up in the air and then you just drop for no apparent
the
reason.
Tower of Terror.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I hate.
No.
'cause
Comet of vomit.
The Foley
That's a
bit is the bit I hate.
It's a very shitty ride.
Yeah. So that's what we were there to celebrate. So John Doe wasn't into it at all. But the other one that was really bad was Richard Patrick, where I asked it because he used to play in 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, really?
And and they actually fucking hate each other. And when I
Because
saw
Trent is cool, and this guy seems like he sucks.
he's a bit of a dick, and all of his good songs weren't written by him. They were written by a guy I used to know in New York. But nonetheless, Richard. So I was interviewing him, and I had been to see 9 Inch Nails when they played at the Academy. It's like this famous show at the Academy. There were like 250 people at this fucking thing, and it was when Trent was really, really young and really, really hungry, and the band was sick, and the guitar player was Richard Patrick from Filter, and Richard Patrick and Trent clearly weren't getting along, and at one point Trent put his arm around Richard and ran him across the front of the stage, tripped him, threw him into the pit and said, "Get the fuck off my stage." And you see the guitar fly up in the air, and then Richard Patrick like battle to get out. His guitar breaks in half, and then Richard gets on stage, and then the two of them are like sparring against each other for the rest of the show.
It's on video?
No, this is like, there was nobody there. It was amazing. But when I interviewed Richard, I brought up Trent. He said, "I'm not giving that fucking guy any more press than he already has," and walked away from the interview.
Oh.
So I was like, all right, there you
Guess
go.
it
So,
stung a little.
Yeah, he's a little bit bummed that he's not in 9 Inch Nails and he's fucking in Filter.
This shit doesn't happen at press launches for Lamborghinis. and
You guys
shit.
aren't rock and
No.
roll enough.
It
That's
doesn't
the
until
problem.
someone sails one into a wall, and then it becomes
And then everyone
fucking
laughs.
Lord of the Flies.
But,
Not throwing anyone off, tripping
It's
them
a
and throwing
timid
them
group
off.
at the lunches.
no.
There's no fighting.
I want somebody to trip another journalist and throw them off a cliff into the ocean. Like, you're not
Wow,
riding this fucking
Really?
Lambo.
Do we need to talk about some shit, Jason? What's going on? You
Come
okay?
on.
There's no
you
punk-
laughed when he said he.
there's no punk rock fucking car riders.
Nope.
There
No.
are a couple, but they're maniacs.
Are they?
Not
But they're not going to trip someone and throw them off a
Like
stage and break their
who's
guitar.
like the fringiest, craziest car dude?
Sam?
Smith?
Yeah. He's not, I wouldn't call him.
He's out of his fucking tree.
There isn't like, there's
But,
no
like, in
one
a
right
fun
now
way.
that's like, you ever read a Hunter Thompson car review
Yeah.
from back in the day?
I haven't
don't-
read any of his car stuff, but I
He
know
read. He
Hunter.
reviewed cars and motorcycles for Playboy magazine.
Wow.
And so go find. They're online. Go
Okay.
find them. They're a fucking read.
Right.
I mean, because you go, wow, he rode this thing on hallucinogens. you go,
We have
you
one.
can just tell in the writing that he was on acid and on that motorcycle together.
Perfect.
Read Davy Johnson's shit from Car and Driver. Davy's probably the closest we have to
yeah.
that. You're just reading it and you're laughing and you're going, he's really fucking high. He's just really high.
Sam has written entire columns. Sam Smith, the Road and Track, who's going to be on the show next week, February 2nd. He writes conversations with himself.
Oh,
like
nice.
He writes like schizo conversations.
Cool, yeah,
Always
yeah.
the funniest thing you've ever read.
So he's fairly gonzo.
He'll make his own editor's notes at his own stuff and make fun of his own shit.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's brilliant.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But the sad part is that is exactly how Sam works in the real world. Like you have a conversation with him, and I just was chatting with him earlier, and he's like, well, this, then, that, but on the other hand, blah, blah. He just plays both roles, and his hands are, he's just, I don't know what to do, and he just gets all like Jewish guilt on himself,
Nice.
which is really
Yeah,
funny.
okay.
Like he is internally created Jewish guilt, internally created dissonance of everything he says, evaluating everything, all these philosophical, I should be here, but I'm not, but instead I should do that. And what if I did that? Then I'd piss someone off, and you're like, dude,
Yeah.
fucking like snort a line of Xanax and chill.
He's real fast
but it's what
in a
makes
race
him
car.
How old is he?
40.
40?
Oh, all right.
39, 40.
All right, so it's like
Yeah,
he's not young, but he's not.
He's one of the fast guys, though.
Nice.
And he gets, you know what he gets? He has the fucking hook. He gets to go race the vintage BMWs at Monterey every year.
Oh, okay.
During Pebble Beach Week.
Yeah, yeah.
Like owned by BMW, like gets in like an old CSL Batmobile kind of thing and races it.
Now, how does one? Because my fucking hodgepodge career of just lemony snicket series of unfortunate events and magical
Which there's been.
convergences.
I read the bio. There's been some things.
Oh yeah, no,
You
there's
were
been
in
some
Grave
things.
Diggers.
Yeah, no, I've had some.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, the adventures are extraordinary. Like the Grave Diggers chapter of getting to be the only white person on the road. With,
It's like a 6-man.
It was literally like a television show that nobody got to see, and it's such a bummer because it was amazing. It was one tour we did in Europe that was us, Gangstar, Public Enemy, J. Rue the Damager, Ice Cube. Arrested Development didn't show. And we got
Arrested Development didn't show?
They didn't show.
Who the fuck is Arrested Development to rock and roll
Yeah.
for? Like, fuck all you.
They were like, we're not doing it.
Mr. Wendell needs me.
It was kind of a bummer because I was really excited to see them actually. But so to go on the road with like those dudes and do Europe, and Gangstar is one. If you haven't checked out Gangstar stuff, you should go past a few years back. But Gangstar are so fucking sick. And there was one afternoon where I was in the basement of this arena, and I was sitting there high as fuck, and it was me and Mac 10, Ice Cube, Prince Paul, Fruquan, and the other guys from Stetsasonic. Prince Paul was there. Guru, Premier, and somebody else, and I was just sitting there listening to these dudes tell the stories of like the early days of like the Chitlin circuit in hip hop when they would just do the South, and they basically lived in tour buses.
And just circle around the
But
South.
they were school buses. They were like converted school buses. They had no money whatsoever, and all they would do is just keep going around like all through the South. And to hear these fucking stories and to sit there as like I've been a hip hop fan. Like one of the things that I consider myself incredibly lucky is that I've somehow, the universe decided to conspire to allow me to be in countries where music was hugely significant at the time when huge things happened. Like I was lucky enough to be in England from 76 through 83, which is
Is that like the fucking pirate radio era?
the thing with 76 to 83 is it's like punk is 77 is year zero, but post-punk, which is all of those fucking amazing bands, and then you had all the ska stuff, and then you had the new wave and the new romantics and all that. So then I got to do that, and then I come to the States in 83, and I was on Long Island, and in 1983, the only place that you could hear hip-hop was on Saturday nights on, I think it was Kiss FM or whatever the station was in New York. But I remember
BLS.
it might have been BLS, but it was DJ Red Alert broadcasting from the Red Zone, and he would be there from 10 until 4 in the morning live, and you would get to hear like fucking groundbreaking hip-hop, like stuff that like rap when it was rap, like nobody else was playing this stuff, like Schoolie D and the original Curtis Blow stuff and like Nucleus and all that. So I got to be there through that, which like I was this like white kid from Port Jeff who had just come from England, who was also a Smiths fan, but I was like falling in love with hip hop. So then to find myself on the road with these dudes was even crazier. And then the RZA hated the food in Europe, so we woke up one morning to find out that he'd left at 6 in the morning, and we were all in the lobby like waiting there to find out what we should do. And we're just sitting there, and our road manager, who was a black guy from England who's amazing, big, huge guy. I forget his name. He's beautiful, and he came out and he was like, "All right, so the RZA's fucked off. So we've got fucking 2 months of fucking shows in front of us, and what do you want to do?" And everyone was just like looking at each other like, what the fuck? And then Prince Paul, who is one of my favorite cartoon characters in the world, he produced 3 Feet High and Rising with De La Soul, which is a foundationally important hip-hop record. And he just turns and he looks at me and he just goes, "Christian can do it." So for the rest of the tour, I filled in for the RZA on stage as as MC Skullcap. And I was like, and there would be this huge introduction where Prince Paul would do this whole thing about how like I was this new fucking character, this new kid from the Shaolin that nobody knew about, and I would come out and I would get to do like hardcore Gravedigger songs like 1-800-SUICIDE, and like these guys. It's amazing.
As
RZA, because the RZA didn't want to be there. It was absolutely beautiful.
Was anyone in the audience affected by that decision?
I think I probably either I might have been the reason that some white kids in Europe got into hip hop, but there was
very funny.
If you go online on YouTube,
we can't play YouTube videos, unfortunately.
We can't. But if you're watching, I did a thing, storytellers for a record label called Side One Dummy, and they used to have this like storytellers thing, and I came in and I told the story of this event in Switzerland that was like one of the fucking craziest shits ever. It's so if you so that story is one of my favorites of all time, because I ended up rapping live on the radio in Switzerland, which I'm so bummed I don't have audio for. But that tour was mind blowing. And then also, like I went out with PM Dawn, with Peter Gabriel, and with a bunch of other people. So I've been really lucky in being able to do a bunch of crazy shit and wear a bunch of really cool hats and all of that stuff.
Were some of them skull caps?
They were. That one was skull caps.
Who came out with MC Skullcap?
That was Poetic. Poetic was the little guy in the he was the crazy one in the Gravediggers, and his he passed away a few years ago.
I remember 1-800-SUICIDE back in the day. That was the shit.
Yeah. The real bummer.
It was like RZA's side project from Wu Tang Clan.
Well, what it was so.
Or was that an incorrect description? Sorry.
It wasn't a side project. It was really crazy. So the reason that the Gravediggers existed was because all of them, like Paul and Poetic and Fruquam, had all come out of Stetsasonic, who are rap doesn't exist without organizations like Stetsasonic.
What's Stetsasonic? Sorry.
Stetsasonic are like old school New York hip hop, like rap as like at its foundation. They're so significant. But they had sort of come out, and Paul had a pretty good career, but they were all sort of falling away, and the Wu-Tang hadn't taken off yet. So the RZA was so they called themselves the Gravediggers because they considered their careers to be dead. So they were called the Gravediggers, and then as the Gravediggers released their record, it was a fucking talk about a dick punch. Yeah, there they are. Talk about a dick punch. As the Gravediggers took off, that's what I'm talking about, man.
It's basically the Harlem Globetrotters.
It's straight cherry. Look at them. I mean, they are. They're like the hip hop Globetrotters. It's so good.
You've seen Rumble Kings, right? That documentary series on Netflix.
No, I haven't. I've watched the evolution of hip hop one. Is the only one I've seen.
Similar thing, coming out of the gangs, and then they went to hip hop. So I'm not going to derail your story, but that explains the outfit.
Yeah, they're badasses, man. Like, look at that shit. So, as the Wu Tang Clan took off, the RZA sort of like lost interest in the Gravediggers, and that was why MC Skullcap was created. But I got to do really cool shit. Like we had to do a clean version of the entire record. So Paul calls me up and he's like, "Yeah, man," he's like, "I don't want to do this fucking clean version." He's like, "Come and hang out with me in the studio," because you have to go through and like drop out every single curse word
and do it word by word.
Word by word.
Well, and for you have to drop out every single N word that was written.
Everything. Like it's the worst, and it's just he's just sitting there for hours upon hours. He's like, "I'm not doing this on my own." So I went down with him, and we get to the Hit Factory, and we're sitting in the control room, and he looks at the engineer, and he goes, "Yeah, man." He's like, "What sound effects CDs you guys got here?" And the guy was like, "I don't know, let me go see." So he brought back a bunch of them. One of them was Farm Animals. So I got to sit with Prince Paul, and for like 6 hours we just put Farm Animal sounds into the Gravediggers clean record.
I got your clean record right here,
so
bitch.
Good. But the real bummer about the Gravediggers is that they put out the record in America as 6 Feet Deep, which is all right, but in Europe it was
a really cool album cover. He was wearing like big oversized gold jewelry, but it was like spikes and shit.
Dude,
it was like Wolverine claws.
His teeth got left. Those are $8,000. Those were $8,000 in like 1993, and he left them at a meeting, and I had to go uptown to Polygram and rescue those things all the way over down. Look at him. He's ludicrous. Anyway, the record in Europe was released, and I have a copy of it because I had to buy it. It was released as Nigga Mortis, which I think is the fucking cleverest record. The Gravediggers Nigga Mortis is so fucking good, man, and the pussies at the fucking it's so
funny.
good.
Yeah, it's very
And the
funny.
record label in America wouldn't do it because
Not surprised at all.
Walmart refused to stock it, and I was like, "Come on, Nigga Mortis! It's insanely
very
good."
funny. If you're fucking RZA, that's
If you're the
very
RZA,
funny.
it's
If
all
you're
three of
MC
them.
Skullcap, it's a stretch.
I was the token white guy in the Gravediggers.
That's hilarious.
It was amazing. So I tried to write a movie about it because it really is an extraordinary story. Like it was about a year and a half of my life off and on spent being like the token white guy in hip hop with those dudes. And I'm so grateful. I used to sit there with the RZA and just get ridiculously high and just ask him questions and be like, how did you do this? So I know the entire story of the Wu Tang Clan, which is brilliant, and the way he put it all together. And I would get really fucking baked with him because you couldn't hang out with him unless you were really high. And I was the only one other than Poetic, and even Poetic faded eventually. And people have seen me smoke now and they're like, what the fuck? How do you manage that? Was because I was blueprinted to the RZA's fucking smoking technique because he needed somebody to do it with him. So he was just like, let's go, Skullcap. And I was like, oh my God.
A fucking ounce a day.
I would sit there and we would just smoke and smoke and smoke. And one day it just went on this lengthy fucking tirade. And then I remember he looked at me like dead in the eye and he just goes, and the ironic thing about the RZA is that the thing he says more than anything is, you know what I'm saying? And you don't. It's the only thing. It's the only thing you understand out of what he's saying is him asking you know what I'm saying? So he's sitting there and he's looking at me and he goes, you know what I'm saying? And then he looked and he looked me dead in the eye and he goes, the white man is the devil. And I looked at him and I was like, holy shit, dude, the white man is the fucking devil. And then I came back and I wasn't eating pork. And my best friend is a Ginzo from New York. And we were going somewhere to get some food. And he was like, I was like, listen, just so you know, I don't eat pork anymore. And he was like, you're fucking eating fucking pork, dude. It's not going that far.
My name is Mohammed bin Salam.
Rashad Hand. I'm going to keep that. But it was, I was keep the hand, lose the Christian. But I was so grateful. I mean, that was such an extraordinary experience to be allowed to hang out with.
It's like a Bill Murray story. Like you almost be like, I don't believe you.
No, I mean, like being on stage with the Gravediggers to like 8,000 people and like looking to my right and like Prince Paul's on the DJ stand and then Furqan and Poetic are like looking at me as I'm like rapping like bang your head and I'm like, what the fuck is actually happening? Like, how did this end up being
world.
part? Like, never in a million years would I have thought that I would have been able to get that done. And it was one of my favorite chapters. They're all incredible. Like, I'm so grateful for the life that I've been given, and that
he's all
period,
reminiscing right now because he's turning 50.
I'm turning
tomorrow.
50.
Is it tomorrow?
It's Sunday.
Sunday's the actual
Saturday night
birthday?
is my party or my thing, and then Sunday is when I'm actually doing it.
But the thing is, you've just said you were so fucked up the whole time that maybe none of this actually happened.
I've actually thought about that, and then I have evidence that it did. Like, I found things where I'm like, oh no, it did actually happen. Like,
I was gonna make like a
you know,
full on
skull cap.
Yeah, like I found the skull cap. I have a Gravediggers hockey jersey and a Public Enemy hockey jersey that I found in a box a couple weeks back.
Did you also pretend to be Ice Cube at one point?
I did not pretend to be Ice Cube.
He was Ice Cube.
He was off making a Disney movie.
He was. They were like, just grab that white guy. Nobody will know. We did. I found this fucking Public Enemy hockey jersey and I was like, holy fuck. And I remember like me and like actually having, like, I stood there and I had this lengthy conversation with Chuck D about my hockey jersey and how they hadn't signed off on this design and where I got it from and all that. And then and as I was standing there, Flavor Flav was sort of involved in it, and then Chuck D did this move that he's probably perfected over the course of his entire life, where I turned, and when I turned back, Chuck had vanished and it was just me and Flavor Flav. And Flavor just looks at me and is like, yeah man, what are we doing? And I was like, oh my god, I don't know, but I might end up in fucking jail if this keeps going. And then I spent like 6 hours
I was gonna
hanging
say,
out.
how many hours did that start off?
It was 6 hours of hanging out with Flavor Flav, which was extraordinary. Like I barely remember any.
Funny
of that
thing is, you
afternoon.
know, it's exactly 6 hours because he's wearing a fucking giant clock.
Yeah, I was like, starts at 7:03, ends at fucking 2:10.
When you start hanging out with Flavor Flav,
Yeah,
Where did it end?
It was we were stuck in this. I remember it was all in Switzerland, and we were stuck in this arena, and there was a bomb threat, so they had to empty the arena because, of course, there were a bunch of black people, so somebody had to blow up the arena. So we we hung out.
There's a lot to unpack in that sense.
We had some moments, racism isn't dead, everybody.
Switzerland was neutral. I'm just kidding.
Turns out. So we got kicked out and then brought back in, and there was like security shit. So it just ended up being all of us hanging out doing nothing, and we were trapped in this arena. So we ended up exploring a fucking Swedish sports arena with Flavor Flav is the name of my autobiography. I'm
Geneva or something.
I don't remember where. It must have been like the biggest. Probably Geneva, like whichever the biggest city is. And it was this huge arena. And he and I just ended up smoking weed and walking around and checking out. They had like break dancers, but the break dancers over there at that time were all wearing helmets and pads and shit and doing crazy shit that you could never do.
Switzerland, the land of like speed cameras and stuff. They're like
liability.
Oh yeah. No, they were like put the safety helmets on.
You can do it, but do not get
But they
hurt.
used it like they could do shit because they were shot because it was like
you could do like
right?
spins on your elbow.
The spins
and shit.
that they were doing were crazy, and I remember Flavor and I just sitting there like splitting this joint that probably had PCP or crack in it at the same time because it was from his stash, and we were just walking around like checking out all of these breakdancers.
Rule of life: don't smoke
Never.
what Flavor Flav gives you.
Never
Man,
split.
fucking Bridget Nielsen or something.
Never split a spliff with Flavor Flav.
I read that he is like a actual musical genius that plays like 15 instruments.
I don't know if that's true. I will say that he's a character, but he's also fairly invested in that character. Like the night I got to see Quincy get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I went because Rush was being inducted, when Rush are one of my favorite bands of all time, and it just so happened it was also the night that fucking Public Enemy got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they're all at the podium, and Chuck is like doing his thing and Griff's there and everybody, and then he was like, Flavor grabbed the mic to say his speech and then walked across the stage and ended up just hitting on chicks that were in the area where all the VIPs
Like
sit.
from the stage?
From the stage, be like, "Yo, baby, what's up? What's going on? What you do?" And then so this went on for like 10 minutes, and eventually Chuck D was like, "Yo, Flavor, man, like what the fuck?" And this is when I knew that it was part character, because Flavor just looked at him and he goes, "I'm getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame once in my fucking life, son. I'm doing this my way." And I was like, "All right, cool."
Wow.
And then it went on for like another 5 minutes of just this tirade.
Once you establish what you are, people will pretty much let
Stick
you
to
just keep being that.
Yeah, and he's Flavor Flav for crying out loud. So it was like that particular chapter was one of those that, I never in a million years would have thought that I could
love
have.
6 hours of Flavor Flav.
Dude, it's crazy. It's
sounds
craziness.
This is out of my wheelhouse.
The closest thing I have to that is Caswell. You know Bill Caswell?
Yeah.
He'll show up for lunch and you'll end up closing down the bar.
Fair enough.
He's the motorsports version of Flavor Flav.
Oh, okay.
He's,
Well,
he's
there
the
you
guy
go.
who ran one of the WRC races in an old E30.
Oh,
Yeah, he
Because
found a
crazy.
loophole to enter a WRC race in an E30, and then decided he was rally man.
if he doesn't have a
Build
he should
race
have
party.
He should have the necklace with its steering wheel instead of the clock. And then
That
he
would be
could-
bitching,
then he could
actually.
do it.
Yeah, Flavor Flav Motorsports.
I just gave you that. That's your new shit, son.
That, or you'd want the racing suit with the clock embroidered,
Ooh.
like on the front.
That's nice too.
That would be the
either
fucking
one of those
thing.
looks.
That would be the shit.
A lap timer, not just a clock, a lap timer.
Yeah, it's got to be a stopwatch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
like-
yeah.
like
Like
Max
a vintage
Powers with
Hoyer
the,
boom
stopwatch. Yeah. When you're actually doing broken down songs, where does one procure a master recording with to do that with? Is that like a trade secret, or it's not? Or is that just like, I work for a fucking radio station, that's what you can do? Or
the internet is the wild, wild west.
oh, really? Oh, how about that?
Yeah, the internet's the wild, wild west. My goal is to get to the point where everyone sort of understands that what I'm doing is only for the betterment of everyone involved in the industry, and ultimately to be allowed to set the dandelion seeds free. Which I think would behoove everybody to do that. But as of right now, it's,
Meaning allow open source so that it could be used for educational purposes? Is that what we're
well,
getting
I
at?
think, one of the problems that the industry has currently is that it's so there's so much product. I mean, there's like something in the range of 1 million songs a week that are put onto the internet.
Yikes.
Worldwide. So if you think about like trying to cut through that noise, and whether that's, you know, classic stuff that people already know or brand new music, like trying to cut through all of that static is really, really hard. And all I'm trying to do is to get people to, you know, I also think that unfortunately the art form that I love has been devalued horribly by itself. You know, I mean, I put a lot of it at the feet of Cameron Crowe.
Of Cameron Crowe?
Yeah, because I think that
when you say the art form, are you talking about music or are we talking about radio?
Music. Yeah, no, radio is I know that I'm a blacksmith, but I'm like the most forward-thinking blacksmith. So the thing that Cameron Crowe did is Fast Times at Ridgemont High is really the first time that you get to see. There were songs that had been written for movies, and there were songs that had been constructed, like Mrs. Robinson and that sort of thing. But Cameron Crowe is the first director to take and truly exploit the idea of songs that you were already familiar being the soundtrack to a scene. So then what happens is that everyone then has the ability to soundtrack their own life. So now when you walk through a fucking mall and you hear Coldplay playing, you are in the scene of your movie where Coldplay was the soundtrack to that day. And it used to be, if you remember, kids, there was a thing called Muzak, and Muzak was just shitty, fucking awful versions of hits played by orchestras,
like
actual orchestras. Yeah,
symphony pop. Yeah.
Like the real thing, you know, these like ersatz versions that was so bad, but nonetheless at least protected the original version of the song. And then at some point it just became, it just became the thing to do, which was to have regular music. And in England, the Queen's composer, because of course if you're the Queen, you have a composer.
The Queen has a composer?
The Queen has got a composer, and he has the legal right, which is fucking so good. He has the legal right. Any place that he walks into, he can have the music turned off. I wish I had that, because he says that what happens when you turn the music off in a restaurant or in a shopping mall or in a place where people are used to having that behind, it is shocking what happens. People stop because we've turned music into this fucking ambient hum that's just in the background. You don't know the fucking songs, you don't know the artists. You walk in the shopping mall, you go from like the outside of the whole fucking big hallway thing into your fucking, you know, your PacSun, and it's a different song playing, and then you go into, you know, fucking Victoria's Secret and there's another song playing, and all these places there's these different songs playing and you don't know any of them. There's no credit being given. I don't, you know, like it's just a fucking noise that stops human beings having to listen to the voices in their own head, and that's not what music was intended for. We should just have different tones of static if that's what you want to fucking do. So, I mean, I sit at my Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf on the corner of Hollywood and Orange every morning, and there are 4 different stores playing 4 different songs very, very loud. So it just ends up being this like Einstürzende Neubauten sound experiment that you're hearing. It's not like a real song. Yeah. And it's really fucking painful for a music fan to watch that happen. So all I'm trying to do is to get people to re-engage in the most important art form that we have. Like, no offense to painters, but no offense to fucking book writers. Great, you know, it's all cute. I love everything you guys are doing. It's adorable. But music is really, really, really important, and we have devalued it. So all I try to do with this show is to get people to re-engage, use songs that they understand and know to re-engage in music, to go out and then sort of realize that they have been mistreating friendships for years, you know, because that's to me what music is. Like, that's why it's unlike other art forms, is that music is a friendship, and listening to, you know, like you have friendships with bands and lead singers and blah 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 blah. So all I'm trying to do with the show is to get people to listen to music differently, so that they can then take that philosophy and listen to other shit differently.
My favorite show you ever did, so back a while ago, you were doing shows where you weren't necessarily telling people what songs they were doing, right?
When I do a new one, I don't tell people, and when I do a repeat show, I tell people.
You won't tell people what the song is?
No, when I do a new show, they don't know what the song is until they show up.
Right.
Until they show up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't know until they showed up.
And this particular one was the Beagles, the Bee Gees and the Eagles, and it was one of the greatest intros ever, because he was like, all right, so here's the deal, we're doing the Bee Gees and the Eagles, and you think I'm going to spend the next 4 minutes like pissing on the Bee Gees and then spend 2 hours talking about how fucking magnificent the Eagles are, but you're wrong, because you've been wrong your entire lives for hating the Bee Gees, and you're going to leave here with this incredible appreciation for the Bee Gees, because I'm going to spend the next 2 hours on Staying Alive, and then I might play 15 seconds of an Eagles song, and then proceeded
really
to
good
just
one.
say, like, call the audience cunts.
I walked out. I said, I'm going to prove to you that you're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
Yeah,
was exactly what I said.
And
this is Bill Burr's Philadelphia Stadium stand-up set. Yeah.
But when you take a song like
shit on the whole city,
right? And you take a song like "Staying Alive" that everyone hates except me.
I fucking hate that.
I
song.
love that fucking song.
It's a masterpiece.
It is a
I don't care.
No, hold on. Now you're going to listen to this episode, because you will realize it is a recording masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
That is constructed in a way that no song before or no album before or since has ever been constructed. It was done.
I'll put it to you this way.
Unbelievable.
Let me put it to you this way. When you watch Saturday Night Saturday Night Fever, and
which I've never done,
you hear which you should, because what you should do now is you should watch it, and you should realize that when the Bee Gees wrote the soundtrack to that movie, they did it in 3 days in a hotel room at the Chateau Marmont in LA, having never seen the film. They only read the script. So they innately had channeled that entire fucking experience through their geniuses, man. Like the second most sold, like the guy with more hits under his belt and with more songs released next to Paul McCartney is Gibb from the fucking Bee Gees, man. It's not John Lennon. It's him. It's Barry. Like, it's insane how much output they had. And if you go back, and I urge everybody to right now find a song called Massachusetts by the Bee Gees, which is one of their original fucking songs from back when they were in Australia and they were a folk rock trio.
Were they like the Australian Mumford and Sons?
They were the Australian Mumford and Sons. They really were.
Really?
They were brilliant. But the disco thing was forced on them by their manager, Stig. It wasn't their thing, and they hated it because they were genuinely brilliant artists. And what's crazy is the way that I found out how dope the Bee Gees are is that Noel Gallagher of Oasis used to be the guitar tech for a band called the Inspiral Carpets. And when the Inspiral Carpets were on tour in America, there's Mark Coyne, who's their producer, was out on the road with them, and they went to a truck stop in like Texas or something. They were looking through all the fucking tapes that you could buy, and one of them is this yellow Bee Gees greatest hits, and Noel Gallagher even laughed at Coyne and was like, what the fuck are you doing with that fucking thing? And he was like,
that was a Liam Gallagher impression?
That's a Noel Gallagher. Yeah, that's one of them.
All Gallagher's the same.
So he gave him this cassette, and Noel Gallagher fucking fell in love with it, and it blew his mind. He went home and bought it for all the dudes in Oasis, and they listened to it nonstop. And I was like, all right, if it's good enough for Noel, it's good enough for me. So then I listened to it, and it is absolutely fucking brilliant.
And what's it called?
It's just their greatest hits. It's like it has a yellow cover, and it's everything prior to the disco era of the Bee Gees, and it'll blow your mind.
They had a greatest hits album out before fucking disco started?
Yeah, dude. That's why.
Okay. I will revisit.
And if you listen to that song, you'll understand how they constructed the songs that they did in disco and why it was different than any other disco song. That's the brilliance of what
when
he
you
does.
pull that song to pieces, there's actually an acoustic guitar track buried all the way in the back of that mix, and it goes and it's this Appalachian country shuffle that is played behind Saturday Night Fever, and it is fucking mind blowing.
The other thing was, didn't you say that the drummer's mom died like 3 hours into recording?
Yeah.
So 3 of the songs on the Saturday Night Fever album all used the same 10-second sample of drums that they just repeated over and over again.
Yeah,
because he was at his mom's funeral.
And then they also used it in like the Barbra Streisand songs that he wrote. They just used the same groove,
the same 10-second drum.
Because it's sick. It's fucking amazing.
Don't fuck with it. It works.
It doesn't have any fills. fills. It doesn't have any cymbal hits. It just keeps going the whole time.
I think he came up with the perfect 10 seconds of drumming.
It's the
most versatile 10 seconds of drumming in the history of fucking drumming.
It might be. It's pretty close to. It's like the funky drummer is probably slightly more, but as far as like that's being able to be used in a number of different songs.
Yeah,
go listen.
It's amazing.
Go listen to that episode.
It's
you
a
will
really great
suddenly
episode.
find yourself to be
Is
a
it
BG fan.
It's staying alive?
Yeah, I think there's an hour-long version. I did the 20-minute bit, but the 20-minute bit doesn't like because the hour-long.
I
I
have it
think
in that folder somewhere.
you do, and the hour-long I play. I remember now, on the hour-long, I play just like I did with the final countdown, where I played the whole keyboard riff. On that one, I play the entire
just the fucking keyboards
just the
of
keyboards.
the final countdown
For 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes is actually pretty awesome.
Mind-blowing. If you
It's
haven't
pretty
fucking been
fucking
driving
cool and
really
weird.
fast down a really straight highway with that fucking playing
It's
really
really
loudly,
weird.
you need to do that.
I fucking made Vinny Russo listen to it in the car on the way out. He was fucking singing Final Countdown for like 3 days.
But the Saturday Night Fever one, I played the entire string track, the orchestration of that, and the orchestration of that thing is
Because of course everyone says disco is nothing but a bunch of synth. There's a fucking
it's
orchestra
amazing.
behind that song.
It's amazing,
And every song, all of them.
and that's that is the goal.
Now that
is
I
that-
think about it, there could be, I can kind of hear some orchestra.
Oh, dude, it's beautiful.
Entire orchestra, and it's gorgeous.
Because the thing to remember is that it was, the budgets were enormous, so they went for the best in the world to arrange it and set this orchestral piece together, and it's all live instruments. There's no synths or any of that shit. It's actually orchestrated and played by an orchestra. And I say to people that at the end of a session, I don't expect you to like the bands, but I expect you to respect them, and that is more important. Because liking music is a very, very, very individual thing. Respecting is not. Respecting is you can respect an art form without liking the art form particularly.
I don't respect.
What me?
Sorry,
yeah, no.
I know.
What
Johnny,
are, or John, what would you say are some other bands that are? And I think I know what you're going to say that are like the Bee Gees, where the band is commonly a punchline, and yet it's actually a group of like geniuses.
Go listen to the fucking episode.
I listen.
That's
The
what
one
I say.
I would say is Toto, because you bring
Amazing.
up Toto a lot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've listened to a bunch of his shows. He always brings up what geniuses Toto
They
are.
played everything on Thriller.
They played.
which
They were
of
the
course I
band
know
on
the
Thriller.
House
which,
band
yeah.
on Thriller, man.
I learned that from the what's that? What's the fucking documentary about studio musicians? That's out on Netflix.
Not the 200 Feet from Stardom. The other
That
one.
That's
was
about backup
amazing.
singers,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
very good. This one was about the studio Wrecking Crew.
Oh yeah,
Not
the Wrecking Crew.
Was it the Wrecking Crew?
Yeah.
Is that
the
it,
Wrecking,
was it?
Yeah, there's the Wrecking Crew one, and then I forget the other one is, but the Wrecking Crew one, they would have brought it up.
The
But
guy who was the guitarist in Toto was like, when he told me when he played Thriller, he goes, he's singing this song, and I'm going, beat it. What the fuck is he talking about?
Steve Lukather.
He's talking about beating it.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
go, what
Who the fuck is Billie Jean? Who is this bro?
She's not my lover.
Yeah. She's
goes-
I'm not the father of her kid. I don't understand. Yeah, Toto are. Africa is an interesting event. But the rest of their, I think Africa is actually Africa is my Moby Dick. Like that's my great white whale. I want that session. I've come so close. Like Lukather almost gave it to me, and then we had a massive falling out. I almost got it from Hungate, and then that fucking fell through. Like 3 members of that band have promised me that I would get the stems to Africa. That is my goal.
Oh yeah, you're that close to it, and yet.
So, I'm literally, it is my fucking white. It's my. I am
Maybe,
Ahab,
what if
dude.
you just
Like, I
meet
stand
someone
there.
in Weezer?
I mean, if anybody can get it to me, just email me. Toto are the. I mean, that's some of the greatest musicians to ever grace their instruments across the board. Like bass, Hungate is incredible. The Picaro brothers. I mean, there's 3 fucking Picaro brothers in Toto. There's Jeff, Steve, and the other one. And they're all monsters.
Given name, strange Christian
Lukather
name.
is a monster, man. Like Lukather played on more fucking hits. Like it's Dweezil Zappa and Steve Lukather are the 2 dudes who played on more hits in the 80s than anybody else. Like
As studio musicians?
as studio musicians, they had fucking the guys from Toto had played on hits when they were in high school. Like they are such motherfuckers. Like it's really quite incredible to think that like this one band. I mean, put it this way: when Quincy Jones handpicks you to be the band for Thriller, you're on some shit.
Yeah.
But one of the things I try to do when I do the show is like the opening act. I try to make it be a band that I know people are going to malign, like when I did the Beagles, which was the Bee Gees and the Eagles, and then another one that I was really fond of was Queen Terra, which is where I did Queen, but I opened with Pantera, and most
Respect Walk.
It was Walk.
Yeah.
I mean, Walk is the one I want to do, which I don't have and I can't find, is This Love, because the thing with This Love is that it's got, Phil's singing and doing the growly bit, whereas in Walk it's a lot more of the growly bit, but it's devastating. And also, that's a 4-piece, dude. They're insanely good. So if you are a Pantera fan, by the way, you have probably not paid any attention to it, but you should. Like 5 or 6 years ago, they did like a 20-year anniversary re-release of Vulgar Display of Power and everything else. Vulgar Display of Power, the re-release, is the heaviest record ever made, ever.
Specifically the re-release?
The re-release is heavier than the original, and I could not fucking believe it. I put it in the car, and I sat there and listened to the entire thing without leaving my car because I couldn't believe that they had made the heaviest record heavier. So if you're a Pantera fan, check out those fucking re-releases, but specifically the Vulgar Display of Power re-release.
What would you do now in the studio to make it heavier? Just turn more knobs, more
No,
up?
what they do, so these remasters, like it used to be that what you did is you just took the 2-track, which is the final mix, and you just remaster it, because a lot of what happened, like Sony, when Sony first put out, this is so fucking nerdy and dorky,
That's
but
okay.
Sony, when
We're
it first...
an audience of nerds and dorks.
It's true,
fine.
you guys are car nerds and
Yeah,
dorks.
yeah,
You guys are the guys who are like, well, I know they're fond of the E63 or the round headlights is really what I...
That's
What's
how-
your fucking point?
That's
Sorry,
actually
dude. So the
pretty close. We'll get there.
Right?
So the way that when Sony used to when CDs were first invented, it was solely invented to get people to re-buy all of their records because they'd started to see record sales dipping, right? So they put CDs out to get everybody to re-buy their catalogs, and some of the transfers were quite literally putting the needle onto a record and then burning it to a CD.
Oh, really?
So a lot of the original CDs are fucking atrocious. So when they did the remasters and, like the
24 karat gold
24
joints.
karat, those
Yeah,
ones are.
I had the
I have
Nevermind.
like 3 of them. Did you really?
I have Nevermind in gold, and I have do I have Versus or Vitalogy in gold too? I have one of the older Pearl.
The only
Jams
one
in
I
gold.
have, I think, is Moving Pictures from Rush on the gold. But so what they used to do with those is they would
They're
take the
worth
2-track, and then they would, which is your stereo left and right that everybody listens to, and they would remaster that, which is cool and, did a little bit of work. Now what they do is they take the things that I work off, which are called stems, where you have the bass and the drums and the guitars and the vocals all separately, and then they remaster the stems and then put them together to make a new mix.
Okay.
And that is fucking game changer shit, and they're doing it over at Rhino right now. They've been doing it for a while.
If it was recorded originally on tape, are they transferring it to digital and doing it and then?
Well,
redoing
a lot of the this is the problem with tapes, is that tapes were not. When tape came out, they didn't know how long it would last. So they have these massive ovens, and for the past, however many years, every year they have to rebake the tapes, and they put them into these huge ovens, and they get the glue starts to break apart.
Oh, shit,
So they have
really?
to melt the glue and get the tapes to fucking, but eventually they become dust. So one of the things that they've been doing is that they've been archiving by taking them off the 24 tracks or the whatever and putting them onto Pro Tools and into digital so that they can be around forever. And from that's when people started to work out that you could take those stems and you could remaster from the stems instead of remastering from the left right.
I didn't realize tape was so fragile. I
it's
figured it was
incredibly
kind of
fragile.
like film is pretty. If you keep it in the refrigerated rooms, the cool
Right.
rooms like cellars,
Nope.
film is okay. But no?
because the tapes are a series of sandwiches. It's like there's not one tape. It's like the tape is made up of hundreds of fragments, and inside or millions of fragments, and those millions of fragments are actually pieces of metal that are held in like a ferrofluid that moves, so that when they get recorded, the metal fragments actually move.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how recording works. So what you're doing is those it's almost like they're alive. So they start to separate out because that glue stops being able to hold itself together. So you have to melt it back into itself.
Never spent any time thinking about how sound gets onto tape.
all
No,
the
specifically,
alignment.
I've never spent a lot of time thinking about it.
Well, it's one
the
of the
alignment
things.
of metal.
I just saw it. Was it
particles.
in? I'm guessing.
Wow.
I'm guessing it was in fucking Bohemian Rhapsody because I just saw that where they are doing track. I was listening to your show. Was it Under Pressure where they made so many tracks they had to go to like a backup set of tapes?
That was the thing with Bohemian Rhapsody, that there was so many overdubs that they'd worn the tape So it's the one that we hear is actually the 8th generation dump down of the original thing, because when you put tape across every time you put a tape across a recording head, you actually thin the tape down. Because the recording head is changing the composition of the playhead doesn't, but the recording head changes the composition of the tape, so it wears it down. So there were points in Bohemian Rhapsody when they were making it where you could see through the tape, like the tape. So there's an amazing story about when they did Rumors. They spent a year on Rumors. And they did, on this fucking recording this behemoth of a record, which is
Fleetwood
incredible.
Mac's Rumors.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. So at the end, they would just burn and burn and burn, just fucking working and working and working. So when they came to the final mix and they listened through, they suddenly realized that they'd put the tape across the tape head so many times that it had lost all of its high end. So they had no high end in the drums or in the vocals and the cymbals. It was completely fucking muffled. But because they'd been focused on this thing for so long and they'd never heard it as a full mix, they didn't realize. When you recorded back in the day and you were on tape, the first thing that you did when you got your drum sound down is you did a slave, because the hardest thing to do is to record drums, and the hardest thing to get recorded right is drums. So the minute you get your drum recordings right, you put them onto a slave tape, so if anything really bad happens to this tape, you can always re-record everything over the fucking drums that you nailed. So what they did, this is back before basically Quincy got the technology paid for by Sony to allow people to be able to fucking have decks that would sync up. So what they had to do with fucking Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, which is fucking nuts, is an engineer was flown in who sat there with a pair of headphones on, and from one side was the burnt out tape, and on the other side was the fucking slave tape, and in the middle was a third tape deck that everything was dumping to. And what you hear on the Rumors that comes out of the fucking speakers is this guy sat there for hours with his fingers on the buttons that slow down and speed up the tape deck, and he sat there with the snare in the middle of his headphones, and when the image started to separate, he would speed up or slow down the deck to get the snare image to go back into the middle, which meant that the two things were fucking synced.
Like real-time audio syncing
manually
with your fingers where you can't fuck
so
up.
Crazy.
So in order to get the high end onto these recordings, they had to use this original slave. Now it would never happen. Or if you had decks that you'd be able to get a SMPTE
what
code
Fleetwood
through.
Mac song you told that story. What fucking session?
It would probably been either You Can Go Your Own Way or
Gypsy.
I've done two of them.
No, I think it was Go Your Own Way.
It's probably Go Your Own,
think it was
because it
Go Your
starts
Own
with the fucking ridiculous harmonies on that thing. So the thing with the tapes is that eventually they fall to pieces, and then you have to do this. So that's allowed these remasters. And if you're a Cure fan, the Cure fucking remasters are incredible. I stand by what the guys over at Rhino are doing. It's really, really, it's very, very cool. And my ultimate goal is to get, I would like to be able to get to the point where I have a podcast on Spotify, because they've paid for all the licenses and all the clearances, where I get to break down Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, and then attached to my show would be a playlist of all of the stems, so that I'd be able to sit there and be like, we're going to do an hour and a half on Rumors, and then or on the Chain or whatever, and then when I'm done with it, if you want to just listen to the drums, they're fucking on the drum playlist. It's a bass playlist, and you'd be able to go through as a fan and just be able to listen to it, because the thing is that,
and also to learn how to play it.
Dude,
helpful.
It's
sign me up. I mean, we'd all do that.
There's so much, and the thing is that, and I'll be honest with you, when I started doing this, I didn't think it would work. I didn't think that anyone would give a shit about what I'm doing, and turns out they do. And what's really interesting is, like, one of my musician friends came to one of my shows, and he was like, the fucking thing that blew my mind more than anything was that you could sit there and just have people stare at a Pro Tools screen for 2 fucking hours.
Be riveted.
Because the thing is like, one of the things that I as a musician and other musicians didn't understand was that even seeing sound turned into a fucking colored waveform is a moment for the average punter, because they've only ever heard it, so they don't know that it looks like a fucking thing, and then it's multicolored and it looks all pretty. So it, like, the levels of comprehension it goes all the way. It goes down to those basics of like you're getting to see sound instead of just hearing it.
Yeah.
And then as it rolls by, you're like, oh my god, you can see what a drum fill looks like.
Yeah.
You know.
I just think it makes you appreciate little bits of. There's little shit that happens in every song that gets buried. You don't hear it. It's
Absolutely.
Like I can think of a fucking dozen of them that I found where it's like, whoa, what the fuck? What did that guy just do?
I never heard that.
Yeah.
In the final
that's-
mix, you didn't hear it. But if you pay attention, it's there.
It's one of my. I just did Bohemian Rhapsody at the Grammy Theater, and one of my favorite moments in Bohemian Rhapsody is that the whole piano track is a single take, I believe, played by Freddie from start to finish, and that's what everything got hung on. It was him, John Deacon on bass, and Dodgy Rudgy Taylor on drums. So they tracked this, but when you solo it, you can just hear the piano on its own. And when I got the track, and I looked at the end, there's like a little dart of information, like a little sound wave, and I was, what's that? So you go in Pro Tools, you can jack stuff up. So I jacked up the thing, and this fucking, I mean, the 5 minute, I play it in the Grammy Theater. You know, I play the piano track start to finish when I do Bohemian Rhapsody, and you hear this whole fucking thing that came out of Freddie's mind, and it's amazing. And then at the end of it, you hear him lift his foot off the pedal, so it makes this little thunk. And then Freddie Mercury ends the piano track going, fuck it.
Is that
And it blows your fucking mind because you realize that this dude, like, that was not a fucking stress out for him.
Yeah.
And the way that he plays the grand piano is so like, he doesn't play like a normal person. He plays like this. Like, his hands are actually almost like a 90-degree angle.
Hang down
like, watch him
below
on
it.
video. He plays like this. So he's when we get to the Galileo, the blah, 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 that whole bit.
Yeah.
And the really cool thing is that piano is the Hey Jude piano.
Oh, that's the famous piano.
It's a famous
What's
piano.
the studio
It's Abbey Road.
Yeah.
That
I read about
studio.
the famous piano.
So that's the piano that they used in Bohemian Rhapsody, which is like
Recording
another
studios
moment
are
of
the
like,
most interesting place. That Sound City documentary Dave Grohl did was really good. I enjoyed that one.
No, it wasn't.
Why? Because of the album he sold off the back end.
No, that
of it?
thing's a piece of shit. Here's the problem with that, and I'll equate it to you. I'll equate it to you in auto terms, right? So he spends the
I
entire.
can understand the music terms as well.
No, because it's the way I use this.
Okay.
It's the way I always use to talk about this. He spends this entire fucking 45 minutes of the initial documentary talking about how amazing that room is and how specific that room is,
the
and
drum
how
sound.
and how you put the drums in this special and that was a warehouse space. Like, it wasn't designed to be a recording studio, so there was just something magical about the fucking way it was laid out and the blah 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 blah. Talks about this, and then what does he do? He buys the fucking mixing desk, which is quite possibly one of the most meaningless fucking pieces of the chain. Like, yeah, dude, mixing desks are all beautiful, and I know there are guys that give a fuck, but he tears it out and puts it into his own studio. This is equivalent of finding some fucking vintage Ferrari that's the most incredible fucking car that just happened to be put together completely correctly just as a fucking one-off, and then tearing the engine out of it and then banging that into a Miata.
Fair.
And just leaving the fucking car to just be destroyed.
That is fair.
The room was the most important thing, and I'm like, are you fucking telling me that Dave Grohl couldn't get on the fucking phone and get 10 of his friends to all chip in to buy the building and turn it into a fucking museum, or allow it to continue to be a fucking recording studio?
Probably true.
Completely true.
You have sold me.
And it's like moments like that where you're like, come on, man, like, this is ridiculous. It's
So
just-
wait, the Neve console is not that cool?
the Neve console is beautiful. It's great, but you could have put a fucking MCI in there. You could have had an SSL in there. The thing that was vital to that place was that room.
And is the
room was
building
like,
gone now? Is it all
It's
gone?
still there, but it's not used as a recording
Why do you
studio
think
anymore.
the credit went to the board instead of to the acoustics of the room and the importance of that?
Well, they give credit.
they
They
give
give
credit
credit
to
to the
the room.
room,
He
but
spends the
Dave
first-
Grohl ends up buying the
desk.
console.
And then there's this big fucking jerk-off parade that they do when they bring it into the fucking studio. And
He's got
everyone-
points.
Like, it's
He does- the man has
ridiculous,
points.
dude. The room was everything. That's like trashing Abbey Road and then pulling one of the fucking mixing desks out of it and being like, the spirit of Abbey Road is in this desk. Everything's going to sound... No, it's not.
I mean, Stevie Nicks probably got banged on the console a bunch of times.
Bunch of times.
And if so, there's that.
Definitely did rails of cocaine off of it, for fuck's sake.
You can open the case and just shake it, and like
And
a
it'll pour
kilo
out.
will pour out.
She actually got to the point where it's unconfirmed reports, but she got to the point where she had to actually have cocaine blown into her anus.
I've heard that.
Because her nose had been so shot. But nonetheless, so
Now
I love
she's worth $100 million.
Believe me, Dave Grohl has the most amazing life on planet Earth at this point. Like, him and fucking Taylor are magicians for what they've pulled off. Like there was
Taylor decided he wanted to be a singer at the Chris Cornell concert.
Oh, dude.
He didn't do great. I love the man. I love Taylor Hawkins, drummer for the
Taylor
Foo Fighters,
Hawkins and-
beast on the drums.
Both of them.
Didn't do a great Chris Cornell impression.
Nobody could do a great Chris Cornell impression except for Miley Cyrus. So there'll be a beer. So here's the fucking great thing about the Foo Fighters, right? So they play Wembley Stadium. And Wembley Stadium is 90,000 people. They sell it out 3 nights in a row. So the final night of the fucking show, on comes the remaining members of Led Zeppelin, John Paul Jones and the guitar player guy. And they play a Led Zeppelin song. And Dave Grohl plays Taylor plays drums and Dave Grohl sings. And then they switched. And then Dave got to play drums and Taylor got to fucking sing in front of 90,000 people.
Yeah, they did
Wembley
that.
Stadium.
They did that at the Forum when I saw him last year as well.
Amazing.
Yeah,
like God, like that.
I think my opinion of it is tainted because he was attempting to do Chris Cornell, which nobody can do.
Nobody can do.
And so that
Which song did he do?
I don't remember. It was some fucking B-side. It was all like it was all like. They played, by the way, for those who have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about the Chris Cornell memorial concert at
5 hours.
The Forum. It was 5 hours. It was 42 songs.
Yeah.
And I had the sweatiest person you've ever seen in your whole life next to me. It was the worst
gross.
seat to have for 5 hours, but it was right behind the soundboard though.
Nice.
And
That's where it sounds best.
Like fucking everybody was there. So like Foo Fighters was there, Metallica was there, every band Chris Cornell played in, like Audio Slave was there, Temple the Dog minus Eddie Vedder was there.
Did anybody do Hunger Strike?
Yeah, they did Hunger Strike.
Who did it?
Well, it was the Temple of the Dog band,
Right.
And the Chris Cornell part was Brandi Carlile.
Oh wow.
Who did pretty well
Yeah.
too, and who sang the other part of it.
That's a bummer that Eddie didn't show.
I hoped Eddie did, but I'd
that's
hoped he was
weird.
going to.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
didn't. Stone and Matt Cameron and Jeff Ament were there.
So it's not like they had a Pearl Jam date.
They didn't have a Pearl Jam
I wonder
date.
if it was too much
But Eddie
for him.
might have had a solo date. I don't know.
It
what
could
the
have
deal
also
is,
been,
but
like a lot.
maybe, I don't know. But there was a lot, and Soundgarden performed as well, and they played a bunch of hits. And cause I'm like a fan, but I'm not like a deep into the catalog
Right.
fan. But they also played a bunch of
Deep cuts.
Well, it's the musicians' choices.
right,
you know
right.
what I mean? So it which is fine, but it was fucking long. If you see Foo Fighters 3 nights in a row, you get 3 different sets.
No.
You don't.
I don't believe
That's
so.
why I love Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
10 nights in a row, 10 different
That's
sets.
also what Nails did. 9 Inch Nails did. They got to on this last tour, he just decided instead of doing like bang 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 bang, he would do 5 dates in each city, and they had 60 songs that they would pick from. So each night was a completely
That
different
rules.
set.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about Temple of the Dog is that Hunger Strike is the first recording that Eddie Vedder made.
Before they recorded 10.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Because he had actually flown to Seattle for the Mookie Blaylock audition and ended up being in this is such a sick story and might quite possibly explain why he wasn't there. They were in the rehearsal room, and that song is written. I'm really proud, actually. There are a couple shows that I'm proud that I do, and the one that I get to do for Chris Cornell is one of my favorites because I get to bring it all back to Andrew Wood, and Andrew Wood is Mother Love Bone. He was like the first guy to really that Mother Love Bone invents grunge, and he's unfortunately the first death to come out of it from heroin. But Andrew Wood was the guy that everybody thought was going to be Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain, unfortunately,
Probably would have been too.
Probably would have been. Though I don't think they would have. I don't think Mother Love Bone could have written "Smells Like Teen Spirit." So Andrew Wood was Chris Cornell's roommate. They lived together.
Yeah.
So when he died, Chris Cornell wrote Hunger Strike about Andrew Wood, and they were running through it in rehearsal, and Chris was struggling, and Eddie Vedder just drifts towards the mic by all accounts, singing, and Chris Cornell just I get goosebumps talking about it. Chris Cornell walked away from the mic, and Eddie just took over and sang that whole fucking thing standing there. That's the first time he's in Seattle. It's the first time that he meets those fucking dudes.
That's wild.
It's incredible.
Yeah, really wild.
It's
I
an
remember there's a
incredible
video.
story.
I think I remember that story from PJ 25. It might have been in that film.
possibly.
Yeah, or is it PJ 20 or PJ 25? I think 20. I think it's 20. But there's the other one. Oh fuck me! I just had the most brain fart.
That's
fucking
your PAX
ever.
for you, man. It does it every time.
Yeah. God damn it!
But that's
Yeah.
like that whole, like the.
Oh, I remember. It was the video they have in that film where they show Eddie getting angry for the first time. Like he starts, is his first performance ever in Pearl Jam or in Mookie Blaylock.
Right.
And he starts as like hiding his face behind his hair, and you can tell he's like really shy. And then like something happens in the crowd that makes him angry, and he starts doing that and doing that. And that was like the first time he ever did that.
The growly thing.
Yeah, the
Eddie
growly
Vedder
voice.
growl.
Yeah.
No, he's like the thing is that I don't like grunge because I'm not a blues guy, and I don't like music that's grindy and grungy and made to make you feel like you're on fucking heroin. But Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder was a fucking surfer guy from San Diego, so it's a completely different thing that he brings into it, which is why he's not one of the tragic stories of grunge. Like when I finish the show and I finish the Chris Cornell Soundgarden show by playing Hunger Strike, and then I bring up the photos of all of the characters.
Eddie's the only one left.
He's the only one left, and if you look at it, like even down to Stone Temple Pilots, like every single character who, from back to Andrew Wood, every single one is a tragic story, and it's the only musical genre ever where the principal players have all died. Grunge, there's no like other than Eddie, there's no like the guy from fucking Candlebox, like you know what I'm saying, like maybe the third generation photocopy of grunge is still going, but the original 5 Riders of the Apocalypse, it's the equivalent of like if you had like if James from Metallica died, and if what's his name from Anthrax died, and fucking what's his name, like all of the main thrash guys.
Yeah, how did all those guys survive? All those guys are still going.
You know why? Because they didn't do fucking
Slayer
heroin
right now. They're all
heroin and cocaine.
Yeah,
They didn't do
Bud
heroin.
Light, not heroin.
That's true. You can survive Bud Light.
Barely.
Jägermeister and Bud Light. You can make it
survive
out
that.
the other side.
Can't survive heroin, man.
Do we have questions, Zach? Do we have anyone want to talk about cars tonight? Oh, we do. You guys want to talk about cars for a little bit?
Sure.
Fuck yeah.
I will talk about music forever. We don't
No.
get to talk about music, but so
I would
I'm
love
happy
to talk
we
about
do.
cars.
Zach, can you pull that window an inch to the right so I can read it because it's blocked by the camera? No, I didn't mean over so the audience can read it.
What
I
do you
meant
use
so
to
I
make
could read it.
coffee?
A coffee maker.
That's the first question, and I want to buy some of the roasted tire, but I've never brewed coffee before.
Yeah, so I may find that
Tell
one
us.
interesting.
Yeah, that one sounds fascinating.
This message
I
brought to
use
you
an
by-
AeroPress to make
they're
coffee.
really good.
They're
I have one too.
really good.
I have one too.
Do you really?
Yep.
Trivia. Do you know what else the company that makes the AeroPress makes?
Dildos.
Poison or something?
Probably dildos, but I don't think so. The Arobi flying disc,
Oh.
the ring,
Oh.
that's the same company.
That same company. I use a French press or the AeroPress if I'm on a rush,
Yeah, the AeroPress is a French press, but better
but quicker.
and quicker.
But it does have waste, which a French press doesn't, because it's got that little paper filter.
Oh, it does use one tiny round piece of paper. That is totally
For
true.
those of us who are environmentally conscious as we do burnouts.
Right, I was about to say,
exactly. Yeah,
How many
yeah.
engines have you gone through?
Fuck
in
off.
Chicago?
It's immaterial.
How much
Yeah.
oil does that leak? No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's good.
Fine.
Wes,
It's like
to
a
answer your
bicycle.
question, go on YouTube and type AeroPress World Championships. Don't laugh.
Get the
Winning
fuck
method.
out.
It's not hard. Yeah, that's what you do. That's what I do. Surf Nuts says, I still sometimes poop a lot. Thank
Well
you,
done.
sir. Daniel says, for the same money, should I get a used Jaguar F-Type V6S or an
Or
Aston
Vantage.
Martin
On the-
Vantage?
On the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
Vantage.
Yes,
Wow,
for the
that's
same
easy.
money. There we go.
I was hoping we were going to have a fight about that one.
Vantage. No.
V6, not right by Jesus.
AP says the isolated guitar tracks for 10 are insane.
They
the
are
album
insane.
10. You did
Yeah.
Jeremy, which I
I did do
really
Jeremy.
enjoyed. 12-string bass by Jeff Ament.
Sick, Jeff Ament.
Yeah,
that
that's
whole
why
band.
no cover band can ever play Jeremy properly, because you need a 12-string bass to
Yeah,
play
can you
it. Right?
imagine? Gee.
He brings that thing live. He plays it
sure.
with the 12-string live.
You
It
have
sounds
to.
cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a really neat sound.
It is.
Have you done any of the other tracks off 10? You haven't, right?
No, because I think that the 10 is kind of a jerk off. Like 10 to me is the Bon Jovi record. It's like the Slippery When Wet of grunge. Like to me,
Is that because of the album cover with the hands
the
all in
hands
the
are
air?
fantastic. I just beyond Jeremy, I don't like Even Flow. Like I don't have a lot of time, but you know, like Verses.
Yeah.
We were talking about that the
Yeah,
other night.
Verses
like,
a little more
Verses to me
complex.
is insanity.
Yeah,
dude.
like Go
Dude,
would be a good
Daughter?
one to do. Daughter, yeah.
Daughter, Glorified G.
Someone just asked me on Twitter. Daughter performed. This is gonna be so nerdy. I'm sorry.
Please help yourself.
On there's a live DVD they did, and it's Daughter
Is it the Japanese
into It's
import
Okay.
of the original bootleg?
I have a lot of bootlegs.
It's Daughter into what?
Daughter into It's Okay,
Ooh.
which is they do about 10 second halves of Daughter.
all
It's
right,
Okay
yeah.
is the best one.
No, the if you like the thing to do is to listen to Even Flow, and then listen to Glorified G, and realize that is one album's leap. There's not
in terms of complexity.
There's not three albums in between that. That's they go from one
Totally
sound
true,
to the
yeah.
next in one fucking record, which is preposterous and is also to me indicative of the fact that they knew what they were doing when they made 10. They did 10 on purpose because what they wanted to do is they wanted to make Verses, and then they wanted to make Vitology, and like that slip is like Verses to Vitology makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah.
10 to that's not even the same
It's a
band.
very big jump.
It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
huge jump, and then like the thing is, it's
Like
Stone.
Weird Headset.
The Stone and those guys also did. There's other bands that they played in that were it's like Satchel. If you've never
Mad
heard
Season,
dude, Satchel. Bad Season is like it's a grungy bit, man. Like I don't really.
well, it's a little Lane Staley. It's a little Alice in Chains 2.0.
Lane is my favorite character of all of them. Like as
Why?
far
I don't know much about him besides his music.
because
Singer
that's what
for
I mean.
Alice
Like
in Chains, by
as the singer of the band, like he's my favorite of those grunge singers because to me what he was doing is so specific to him. Like it's a great story. When I'm hopefully going to do my Soundgarden session with Michael Beinhorn, who produced Super Unknown at the Grammy Theater. He didn't produce it at the Grammy Theater. The show is going to be at the Grammy Theater. We've done it at NAMM and we've also done it prior. And he and I are really good friends. When you get to sit, you should come to that one because when you get to sit
down.
and hear him tell the fucking stories of the making of that record, it is so fucking dope.
What I'm wondering, actually, just to take a tangent
coffee
off of that shit, is how come, since you seem to know a bunch of these musicians, how come you don't invite them on to do the breakdowns with
I do.
you?
I've done. I mean, that's why like Michael and I became friends because he reached out to me after I did the Soundgarden one on Facebook just to thank me for doing it because he was like, as somebody who knew Chris, and I was like, who the fuck is Michael Beinhorn? But the name rung a bell because I'd mentioned him in the show, and then I clicked on it. I was like, holy fuck, it's the dude that produced it. So then I asked him to do it with me. I've also done it with STP, which was really, really cool. But as far as like getting bands to commit to doing it with me, it's actually a harder sell than you would think. That's what my hope is with the TV show, because the TV show, I don't want the TV show to just be me. I want the TV show to be the interview
Does the band
version.
not want you taking apart the finished product? I mean, if
Some
maybe
of them
if you're
don't.
a chef, maybe you don't want the guy
Well, there's a lot
come
of
on while I
singers-
fully dissect your
There's a
thing.
lot of singers who are very, very insecure about their voices who don't want them to be soloed. Most other musicians are pretty cool with it. I had a great experience of when I did STP with them. Robert, the brother, is a phenomenal bass player, and so we're sitting there playing the bass part, and like halfway through the fucking verse, he's like, hold on, stop a second. So I stopped. He goes, rewind it and play it again. And I played it from twice. And then he looked at his brother, Dean, who's the guitar player, and was like, I've been playing that wrong for 25 years. and he found it out live in the studio listening to the bass track
that's
with
funny.
me, which was fucking awesome. And then he had me send it to him so he could learn it
That's
the right way.
fucking hilarious.
So like, there was some pretty, there were some really cool moments that come out of it. And I'm hoping that, that's my goal with the TV show, is to get people. And another thing with the Grammy Theater, because it does sort of establish me as a little bit, it gives me cred that I don't have just doing it at Los Angeles College of Music and on the radio, like being able to do it in these, revered places.
The iconic theater.
Yeah, it's a great theater. And that's one of the reasons I want to get in there, is to be able to have access to the Grammy members list and say, hey, come and do this fucking thing with me. I almost did Africa with Steve Lukather, and then it went sideways, unfortunately, because he didn't like Africa memes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
That's what you get for writing Africa. David D says...
He didn't actually write it.
Oh, he didn't?
No, David Page, the keyboardist, wrote it, and then and then there was the moment in the studio where Steve Lukather looks at Dave Page and goes, you ain't even fucking been to Africa, and then stormed out of the fucking studio.
Did you see the Bruce Springsteen
The one-man show?
The one-man show?
No, I haven't watched the video. My concern with it is that the reviews that I'm hearing is that it's a little bit weird and unengaging. I will guarantee that if you were in the theater with him doing that, it must have been electric.
Weird and unengaging is a fair criticism, although having watched it, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I think
if
you're a fan casually of Bruce Springsteen, but it's because you haven't even been to Africa. I think is funny because he straight up says, I'm really, really good at, writing about things at which I have absolutely no experience whatsoever.
It's so true, man.
Funny.
Like the crazy thing about Bruce is that he still speaks with the voice and to the working man, and he's a multi-millionaire who hasn't worked a regular job since the early 80s, but he's still, like, if you haven't listened to Wrecking Ball, the album and the song are, to me, that's Bruce Springsteen's greatest work to date.
He was at a birthday party I was at for John Landau's daughter. I was friends with her in high school. We went to school together, and he fucking came to her 21st birthday and held court and told the funniest rock and roll stories you've ever heard for fucking 45 minutes. Yeah, it was like the greatest night of my life. It was.
How old were you? Were you 21 too?
No, 23, 24.
Oh my
it was the
God.
coolest
Yeah,
fucking thing in this dude's house. In Purchase.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because Landau was his manager.
Yeah.
Back in he was the guy who said famously, "I've seen the future of rock and roll, and it's named Bruce Springsteen."
Yeah. So that guy, John Landau, was at the time the richest person I'd ever met. This guy had fucking Warhols in his house, Picassos. The girl Kate, for her 21st birthday, her cake was an iPod. The size of this table. They'd made an iPod was a new thing at the time. They made an iPod the size of this whole table for her with white headphone wires on it, the whole fucking shit. And then fucking Springsteen walked in the door. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's no joke.
It was the ballerest shit ever.
He's one of the big gets. Like, I want to be able to sit with him.
Yeah,
would be sick.
You know what fucks you up if you're a fan of The Sopranos and then you see a Bruce Springsteen music video come on from the 80s in like Apple Music or whatever when you're at the gym and you see fucking Steven Van Zandt singing and you go, what the fuck is Silvio doing?
What a fucking career that dude's had. Like,
Crazy.
Crazy.
I'm rewatching Sopranos for the 10th time right now.
It's so good.
It's the best. Jordan says, Matt, I'm coming to LA and renting a Cayman GTS for a day. Should I go to Malibu or the Angeles Forest? You should go to the Angeles Forest. Yes. Malibu is for talking to other people. The Angeles Forest is for driving.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mustache Mitchell. Yes. 21, living in North Texas, thinking about getting a Ford Focus RS or Fiesta ST, but I found a CPO 2017 Mustang GT Premium with performance package and a Roush supercharger.
Very specific.
For 32 G's with 14 miles. Fast as fuck, coming from a Kia Optima. No shit, sir.
Not much isn't.
Not much isn't, but
yeah.
32 grand for a 700 horsepower 2017 Mustang GT with 14,000 miles is good value for money.
It's good speed for money.
Good speed.
His insurance is going to be $1 million a year.
It will
21
be.
living in North
21.
Texas.
Yeah,
$8,000 a month for your insurance.
You're also going to want to save money for tires and brake pads.
And body panels, probably.
And,
Yeah.
Well, and
Be careful.
Be careful of those pedestrians at the Carson Coffee. It is a Mustang.
Fresh joke.
Right?
Does North Texas have curves in it? Or not?
No.
The whole fucking
is all of
state's
Texas flat?
Yeah, but Mustangs do not need curves to crash.
They don't. No, but Focus RSs and Fiesta STs need curves to be fun.
That's true.
Yes.
If you don't have curves, don't bother with the fucking Focus RSs. No, that looks pretty straight, huh? Well, now
We
we're
should be looking at the map.
Now we're looking at interstates, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about North Texas. If you got curves, get your hatches. If not, 700 horsepower.
That
Fuck it.
seems like I think that seems
Not
like
good
too big.
consumer advice.
No, I think it's too big a step. You're 21. You just had an Optima. Like you could just get a Mustang.
You might die.
Probably
in
save
the-
money, but you're going for a supercharged. Yes, it probably came with a warranty, all that stuff. But like you could save
Rear-wheel drive. It's
real drive.
that's a
Just
recipe
get a
for
regular
trouble.
Mustang GT
Right.
because you're probably gonna crash that.
Yeah.
Also,
What he
32
said.
grand's a lot of money for a 21-year-old in
That
North
too.
Texas.
True,
let's be
true.
honest.
This
You can
is
buy a house for
slinging
that probably
weed.
in North Texas.
Unless he's in the cannabis industry
what I'm
or
saying.
possibly the oil industry
Or military, any of those things.
military.
But he
Buy
wouldn't have had an
Buy a
Optima.
Ducati 1100. No, don't.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't. Dion Walters. It's a great name. What do I do, or what do you, the royal you, do in regards to paint protection? Do I live close enough to the beach to worry about corrosion?
Yes.
Yes, I do,
You do
live close enough to the beach, but my cars are in a garage, thank God. The people who street park by my house, their cars are fucked. They just turn to dust. I don't do anything about paint protection. I wash my cars and I wax them twice a year. Jason, what do you do about paint protection?
I keep them out of the rain at all costs. Keep them out of the sun at all
Out
costs.
of the rain at all costs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Out of the sun at all
It depends
costs.
on the car, but most of them out of the sun, out of the rain. They're indoors, stored all the time. In California, look, we don't get rain all
Yeah,
that
I
often,
know.
so it's very easy to say it's
Out of the
raining,
rain.
it's miserable, and I'll rent a Hyundai Elantra, which is exactly what I did on the way
Is that
down
what you
here. I drove here in a Hyundai fucking Elantra.
I drove the Countach in the rain last week.
See, you
It
are
was an
far
event-
cooler than
It
I
was an
am.
adventure. It was kind of fun, actually.
It's fun to do every once in a while.
It was. The windshield wiper worked. The defroster worked. Everything worked. It was
That's nice.
fine. It was no problem at all. I felt very cool, actually.
very
People
cool.
looked at me like I was nuts.
Did
I
you
was-
get any wheel spin?
I wouldn't risk that.
I didn't get wheel spin because I didn't go flat. What I did get was some hydroplaning a little bit because the tires were pretty wide, but it was okay. It was fine. Yeah, nothing bad happened. I suffered no consequences whatsoever.
Question for Jason.
Corey says, wait, hang on. Who's going to see a Grid Life Colorado? Not sure yet. Grid Life, they're doing an event in Colorado, which is going to be really fun. They're also doing their Atlanta and Michigan events as well. I haven't talked to them yet. I hope I see you at one of them. Don't blow up your brand new 911, sir. Question for Jason from Jan Willem. I'm building a 3-liter M20. That's a BMW inline 6, yes? Yep. For my E30 Touring. What engine spec and mods do you have on your E30 Touring?
So this is the E30 Touring that we featured in the Motor Trend video. It is an M20. It's a Super Etta block, so it's a 2.7 liter instead of the original 2.5 with a stock 325i head. So it only makes about 180 horsepower. 3 liter would be even more powerful, probably right around 200. Other than that, it's a full Spec E30 race suspension on it, just modified with H&R Sport springs instead of race because it was too low
Is
for the
it
street.
like bearable?
Oh yeah, totally. Rides really well. Pulls 1.12 G in the corners on our comps.
There we go.
No
On
fun.
our comps?
If you watch that video, we raced it against. So I called BMW and I said, "Hey, listen, we're doing an episode on my E30. I need the fastest non-M3 M car you guys have." To race the E30 around, and the lovely PR guy from BMW, whom I actually love, said, "Camissa, you're fucking delusional." That's a quote. And I was like, what? He's like, I'm going to give you a 328D wagon, and that'll beat your car around. I'm like, fuck you. Give me a 328i wagon on your all-season tires, which is what he thought would be faster than my wagon, and give me an M340i track and handling performance pack car.
Okay.
And he did. And so I didn't tell Randy any of this, Randy Popst, our race driver, and I said, just go set laps in the 2 new BMWs and mine and see what you got. He comes back in, and my wagon's 12 seconds faster than the 328i wagon. And then
What track?
this is Willow. Streets of Willow. And then he comes back in, and he gets out of my E30, and he's like, "What the fuck? It feels like race." Thing about Randy, by the way, is guys, he's got a really foul mouth, and he gets really excited. And then you put a camera in front of him, and he's like, "This thing is a fucking." Well, I wish it didn't understeer so much. And you're like, "Fucking, I just want the real Randy." Anyway, he jumped out, and he was like, "It feels fucking race car. Get that fucking subwoofer out of the back. Get their stupid spare tire out of this thing. Give me 1 notch of rear bar and 2 psi in the rear, and I'll beat that fucking 340i." And I'm like, "No, it's kind of run as what you're brung." But the joke is that with 130 horsepower less, my wagon passed the the 340i M Sport track and handling package
That's
twice
awesome.
on that track, and ultimately lost by 0.4 of a second in a lap. But when 2 times had gained a second back, lost a half a second, gained a second back. So you
That's
don't really
awesome.
need a lot of power in an E30. That thing's got no AC, no power windows. It weighs 2,800 pounds.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of power when you got that much grip. Not much is keeping up with you. So. All you
I
need
was
is Spec E30
considering
suspension.
maybe for my next daily driver to get an E30.
Fuck yeah. Fuck
But
yeah,
I have to have air conditioning.
Yeah,
have to.
all the U.S. cars had air conditioning.
Okay.
Mine's, I bought it in Germany. All the wagons were non-U.S. spec, but they all came with AC.
Oh my God! Do we have a lot? All right, cut them off, and if we don't get through all these, we'll get through. Leave them for next show. Daniel says, is the 2015 Aston V12 Vantage with paddle shifts a good value at $80,000? Yeah, actually, I think it probably
No.
is. No? Jason says he's all about the manual, but it's 200 G's.
But you
Also-
can get a manual non-S. He's talking about the S V12 S
Vantage
manual
S?
7-speed dogleg. There was a 6-speed.
Yeah, the 2011
non-S.
one. That's
Exactly.
the better car.
That's the no, but it's
because it has a better gearbox.
the 6-speed than the 7. No, I like the 7-speed better.
I think the 6 is better.
No, the 7-speed's geared like a Miata, so you're just it's funner.
I can't handle the weird dog leg of it.
That's just a you
I just
problem.
don't
That's
like
not a car problem. but no,
That's what the Lamborghini people told me when I told them their car was small.
they're like, you're just fat. That's big.
This is not the car's problem.
This is the problem of America. But no, in all seriousness, that is a single clutch automated manual, and all single clutch automated manuals fucking suck. So no, the answer is go get a manual V8 for $80,000. You can get a later 4.7, which were much better cars than the earlier 4.3s, even though the 4.3s were great. The late 4.7s, especially the 2012 and a quarter and later, were the fucking amazing, and they're $70,000.
Well,
So
there you go.
I saved you money.
Okay, fair. Is it livable in New York City? Sure.
Yeah, fine.
Not bad.
Budget some money for blown out sidewalls.
Lakshya says, just bought a Toyota MR2 Spider. It's my first mid-engine rear-drive cars. Any driving advice, and what mods should you do first?
Save your money on the mods and go for some driving school and car control clinic stuff. Depending on where you are, go learn how to really drive that thing without risking crashing it like in an autocross, because you're going to spin it 8,000 times. And mods, don't fucking touch that suspension or it's going to kill you.
That's my favorite car I've owned.
My MR2?
MR2?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I love my MR2. I really miss it.
Would you currently have it?
Would I?
No, do you?
No,
you
I
don't?
got,
Oh,
I
you
got
don't?
rid of
Okay.
it because it was
Spun it into a tree.
no, because the problem was that the fucking
I got rid of
was-
it backwards off a cliff.
I almost did, but the stick shift was starting to. It wouldn't, it was like the bearing, what fucking thingy that connects it to the other bit was starting to go, and the guy was like, "It's $3,000 to repair that," and I was like, "Yeah, out of your
See you,
fucking
bye.
mind."
Yeah.
But I really regret it. I wish I had kept that.
Well, you can. It's not much money for another one.
Yeah, but I'm not that guy. I'm not gonna be a guy with multiple cars. I wish I was. No.
Do you know who you're talking to, right?
I know.
you-
That's you guys have more than enough for everybody. I have 5,000 fucking CDs.
That's a good
You want
point.
to do a
That's
CD
a
off,
good
ladies
point.
and gentlemen? You want to do a vinyl off?
Good point. But
All right?
LA is
how much
really
are your speakers in
I
your
wanna
house?
know. Wait,
how
I wanna
much were
know
your speakers?
How much do your 5,000 CDs weigh versus how many
Oh my
his
god, dude!
72
I've
cars
moved
weigh?
them so many times. I hate those fucking things.
Yeah.
Our cars move
LA
themselves.
is a two-car town, though. The driving around here
Yeah.
in the city, it sucks. You want your fucking hybrid or something quiet, electric car, whatever.
Sure.
And then we have our mountains where you want something aggro.
I would want my what I would get if I could do it tomorrow. I would get an old CJ7 Renegade. That would be one of them, and then the other would be
Those
the
drive terrible.
terrible, but I've been in love with them since I was in the UK with big fucking wheels on it. And then the other thing would be an Alfa Romeo 4C. That's the dream.
Oh man, you like terrible cars.
I know.
Yeah, with that 4C.
That 4C is so beautiful.
4C is all emotion and no substance.
That's all. It's just like me.
That's bullshit.
all
It's
like
got
me.
Not good.
plenty of problems in those kind of substance. Fine.
You want to race? My Countach versus a 4C trips to the shop.
Yeah, but here's
Let's
the thing. How much have you guys spent on your stereos in your cars?
Not all that much.
Right, exactly. My
I have a
Mini.
bumping fucking stereo in my car. My Mercedes SL has like a 1200 watt Clarion stereo with a custom box. It's fire.
Clarion?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
It's not like Focal, but Clarion's pretty fucking dope.
Here's the
My,
thing. I talked to an engineer years ago from, I think it was Bang & Olufsen. And we were talking about stereos in cars. And what he was saying was that no one should be wasting money on aftermarket sound systems for their cars because it would genuinely cost on the order of $100,000 to make it sound even close to what he would consider good.
Yeah, but that guy's a douchebag. What you really want in a car is you want something that fucking sounds like it's the soundtrack to the drive. It doesn't have to, I don't need imaging. I don't need to fucking see the instruments laid out in front of me.
Okay, fine.
What I want something that thumps and sounds fucking sick. And the Harman Kardon system that I got standard in my fucking Mini 6-speed. I happen to have a fucking stick shift.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
That Harman Kardon system sounds sick.
4 of my cars have massive, embarrassing subwoofers in the back.
Yeah,
Big stereo systems in it. And by the way, the one that doesn't is a fucking Ferrari, which doesn't need it.
Yeah, Ferrari's
Pro
gorgeous.
tip: put a sponge behind your license plate. Prevent it from revving.
Yes, it's the worst
I have
when I
felt
hear
tape.
that
Yeah.
shit. It's terrible.
Yeah. Car stereos. My favorite is the Meridian in the Range Rover. It's 27 speakers and
Wow.
1900 watts.
Holy shit.
Fucking
Meridian's no
speakers
joke.
in the ceiling.
The B&O stuff was really disappointing when I heard that.
Depends
to be
on
honest with you.
it depends on which line it is. So they have their real line in the Audis that are $5,000 and $3,000, and then they have their like $600 option.
Right.
And the $600 option.
What was the one that was in the Panamera that we? Or was that? No, that was Panamera.
No, that's
was
Burmeister.
They're
and that was
Burmeister.
Yeah,
disappointing.
Burmeister's dope. No, not about it.
Disappointing. Wasn't into it.
Bentley's Naeem is pretty sick.
Name,
Naeem
yeah,
is a
I
Naeem I
like-
never-
yeah, I like the name stuff is probably pretty good.
I don't
very
think
good.
so.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they all mute treble and bass. It's just all mid range. It's
Really?
like it's almost like it's EQ'd for talk radio.
Well, England is
This
very
shit.
mid-range
Yes.
heavy.
Right.
The English sound is very mid-range
Very
heavy.
podcast heavy in the Bentley.
They don't allow treble.
That's who's buying
Specifically for the
Bentleys.
mid-range podcast.
We can't have anything too bright. It's cloudy
Yes,
outside.
yes.
Stephen Van Reen says, my dad is a piano tech on the Oregon coast. He drives a lot with a lot of tools. He has an 09 Ford Escape with 300,000 miles. Holy shit. Good
Jesus.
for your dad.
Well to go.
Needs an upgrade soon and likes to have a high driving position. $30,000 used. I say 2017 Toyota Highlander.
That's a lot bigger than an Escape. So I say 2017 or brand new Mazda CX-5 because it's a better
the
drive and it's
the
gorgeous.
journal-
That's the thing I'm
Choice.
driving.
Choice.
I'm driving that. I got a rental because some douchebag
CX-5?
smacked into the side of my fucking car the other day. And what for
And what are you
Christmas.
driving? CX-5s?
Yeah, they got me a rental CX-5
And?
thing. Stereo's garbage.
Okay. How's it drive?
It goes forward and backwards and left and right when I turn it. Boom.
But that's a good answer because if he lives on the Oregon coast, the road's super twisty.
Right.
There you go.
All right, there
Zoom,
you go. He
zoom.
says CX-5. I say lightly used Highlander. Fair. Thomas says, oh, this is the same question. Thank you for your donation, but that's the same modifying an E30 question.
Well, this is an IX. So this guy.
So
well,
how do you modify an IX?
you get rid of it and you get a 325i with rear wheel drive, so you can actually slide the thing around. Honestly, modifications just lower it a little bit. Do like an H&R Sport and Bilstein suspension kit, and it will ride just as well, if not better, than stock, and handle much better.
All right,
There you
you
have
go.
it.
Easy.
Put a good stereo in it so Christian doesn't
Yes,
bitch.
for crying out loud.
Christopher says, is a 2019 ND Miata Club loaded worth $10,000 to $15,000 more than a used 2016 ND Miata Club?
Man, this is some train
10 to
spotter fucking
15,000 is
business.
a big delta.
Big delta.
That's a
And
big
I haven't
delta.
driven the 180 horsepower car yet,
I haven't either.
but the regular one is so much fun that I'm sure if you don't have the new one, you're not going to miss it for $15,000 buys you
15
two of them.
grand.
Yeah.
It's twice the price.
Yeah.
So I'd say no.
I think if you take 5 of the money you're saving and put it into wheels, tires, and sport shocks on your 2016
subwoofer.
car, or a subwoofer, you'll have more
Preferably,
fun.
right.
I say get the used one.
Yep.
That's what I would say.
Save your money.
Yep. Narumia says, oh, what should I stop at? Oh, my God. On the way back from between Daytona and Connecticut, south of the border. What the fuck is there on I-95 between Daytona and Connecticut? Some great strip clubs in Savannah.
Athens,
some-
is that where we
there's
went to
a-
Athens, Georgia, and got hammered? Was that there?
Fuck
know.
me, I
That
don't
was
know.
2012. Go
On
ahead.
95 sucks. It's a
Yeah,
terrible
it's
drive.
terrible.
Take
It's
a
one of the worst.
3.5 hour detour to the west. Go find a road called Whitehall Road in Hagerstown, Maryland, and there are 4 jumps on it. One of which is a double jump that will fuck your car up permanently, so don't do that. But go hit
Did you
Whitehall
just say
Road.
A double
That's-
jump.
We
is
call
that
it
by
the double fucker.
Is that by Silver Spring?
Is that where you jump
it's by
so far
Frederick.
you land on an uphill?
No, what happens? Yeah, you do. So
Yeah.
you jump. It's 1 and then 2, and the second one is lower than the first, so you don't see it until you're airborne, and then braking midair, which doesn't work.
But that's
and
a
then
step down. You got to clear the gap, like
So
motocross style.
one of my friends tried it once, and he
I'm not actually recommending this.
don't fuck. It was a Honda Civic hatch of all things, and he cleared the first one and then landed with the back of the car, the rear overhang, on the like peak of the second jump, and
Cased it.
pushed the muffler, basically actually pushed the spare tire up through the well and everything, but
Yeah.
also crushed the muffler to the point where the car didn't run, so they had to cut the muffler off on the side
Good
of the
job.
road. He fucked it up real
Yeah,
good.
nice job.
Bold.
Whitehall Road.
I like it. All right, yeah, check that out. Also, go to Philly, get a cheesesteak.
There you go.
Tato Gino's.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Overrated.
I recommend Gino's.
Both of those are overrated.
Just go to
Those
Brooklyn
across
and
the
get
street,
pizza then.
That's a shitty sandwich. It's a shitty sandwich.
Gino's is good. Shut up.
Not good.
Shut up.
Hey, do you like cheese soup? We poured it on your sandwich.
That's Pat's.
fucking same thing.
Eric says, for a fun summer car and 1 to 2 track days a year, is an 11 to 14 Mustang GT too fast for a beginner? Or will an instructor just tell me to go slower? Or should I get a Fiesta ST and extra money on more track days?
Okay, here's the thing. There's not really that much of a speed difference between the two, but what there is rear-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive, which fundamentally changes the way the cars handle and how difficult they are to master. I would say a Fiesta ST is going to be a lot easier to drive, but you're going to learn to be a better driver in the Mustang at the potential risk of crashing it.
Yep.
So
I like that.
keep stability
Solid.
control on or in sport mode and get the Mustang, learn how to really handle a rear-wheel drive car. You'll be a better driver for it.
Yeah. An average driver will find their way to the limit of the Fiesta ST by day 3.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fun, but on a racetrack, you know.
Right. Where you could spend a lifetime mastering a rear drive car. And that Mustang's pretty good.
All right, thanks. Robert says, I've recently joined the Pilot Super Sport Club, but I'm looking for wider wheels for a base C6 Corvette. Any recommendations under 4,000? HRE Flowforms, HRE FF01s specifically. I had those on my Corvette. They're very light.
I can't believe you had an answer for that obscure of a question, but I'm sure you've thought the same about me.
I had a
Either way, I'm going to
Corvette.
say mad respect.
I had a
Well
Corvette with, and I was looking for a similar
You had
value.
a fucking part number that you just rattled off at the top. I mean, this is amazing.
That's a model number.
SKU 006.
Yeah.
Mark says, Zach and Jason, what are your thoughts on the Euro 2.316 Mercedes Cosworth versus the US Spec one?
Mark, thank you for bringing your car up. If you ever get to drive that other guy's car, you're going to be very sad.
Yeah. I mean, I probably should be nice because he asked us the question, but really the U.S. car, I had a U.S. car, now I have a Euro car, and I liked my U.S. car. There's no fucking contest. And I said this to Zach before he did it. Or I think after, when you made the Instagram post, I said, look, you know, I'm glad you were impressed with the car, but you really need to go drive a Euro car because it's much more than what you'd think. So the difference between these two cars is 167 horsepower versus 185 PS, which is actually only 182. So it's not that much difference in terms of horsepower. Redline goes from 6,500 to 7,000. Doesn't really seem like that, but the attitude difference between the two engines is night and day. The US car is geared incredibly short to make up for the weight of all the standard equipment that we had, which was power seats and fucking everything you can imagine. And the shifter just doesn't want to be rushed. So it's possibly the only car I've ever driven where the gears are too short for it, and it doesn't rev out. It falls on its face at 5,500 and just kind of, it's a mid-rangey kind of motor, whereas the Euro car weighs.
So it's just a sucky version.
It's a sucky version. The Euro car
It
has
just sounds like they
short.
suckified
Well, they
it.
put 3 catalytic converters on it to get that bitch to pass emissions.
Well,
and
that'll
it just,
suckify it.
It killed it. And then so the Euro car just pulls right to 7,100 RPM. Totally different personality, high rev, screaming.
What was the weight difference on yours? Because the one I drove was lighter than stock already. So it was
my
like 2,600
my Euro car is 2858, I think, or 2856, and the US cars were over 3,000, like 3,010. So it's 150 pounds minimum.
It's a huge difference. I mean, the one I drove was a American car that was like converted to Euro with hot rodding and porting and all these other things and lightweight and springs. But I mean, the attitude was night and day. It was
really
amazing.
weird. It's
And
really weird.
The second one, I finally understood like why these cars are people think they're so cool. The first one, it was like kind of like I didn't like the song, but I respected it when I drove it. Like I felt, all right, this suspension's clever. It's really sticky. It sticks in the back. It's comfortable. All that shit. And then I drove the Euro one, and it was like, this is a good song. Fuck, this is a really fun song to listen to. I was really enjoying
felt that
driving
way
that
with
car.
the Japanese Subaru STI as well. The JDM,
the JDM 2-liter
one.
that ever has 8 grand.
Yeah.
The thing about the 2316 is I'd say to people all the time, look, the S14 was a great engine in the BMW. The E30 M3 engine was a great engine in its power curve and its power delivery, but it has nothing on that Mercedes motor in terms of personality and noise and revability, all those other things. And people think you're crazy because they go to drive the US car and it's like rev to 5.5. It's done. Night and day difference.
Yeah,
possibly one of the
absolutely.
biggest difference between a Euro and a US car of anything I've ever driven.
Yeah,
right.
it was good. You should convert your car.
Fat Beats says, I daily a 2017 911 Carrera in Boston year-round
Good for
and
you.
keep finding myself looking at other cars. Am I
Hold on.
crazy? I'm kicking around an M2 competition and a Jeep Rubicon or maybe a Trackhawk.
Okay, hold on. You skipped over the most important part that
It's a PDK. But
that's why you're
traffic.
looking around. You bought a fucking automatic 911 and you're looking around? Of course.
He sits in traffic. That's
I
a
don't
good
know
point,
much.
but he said, huh?
I don't know much, but I know that's a terrible
PDK is
choice.
good as far as automatics go.
He dailies it, and Boston doesn't have that much more traffic. And PDK is good. Go buy a manual M2 comp, and you will be a very happy guy. And don't ever buy an automatic fucking sports car again. Period.
Valid.
All right. There you go.
2 against 1.
Snow tires on that
Opinion-
car.
he's very
would be
opinionated.
so good.
I would say, yeah, snow tires on
Snow
the 911 would be
tires.
rad.
Well, snow tires on the M2 would
Oh, on
also
the
be
M2,
rad.
yeah. Yeah, you don't need an M2 and a Rubicon. You need an M2 and wheels and tires
Yeah.
for snow. The Trackhawk, the problem with the Trackhawk is unless you're actually going a zillion miles an hour, it feels exactly the same as a regular old Jeep. There's
stupid. it's so stupid when
it's
you hit the gas.
stupid. It is stupid, but it's fun, kind of, but dumb, and also fun, and also dumb, and also fun.
Also $50,000 more than an M2 comp.
Totally.
So, yeah.
And also very expensive. But if you're not going a zillion miles an hour, it's exactly the same as a regular Jeep Grand Cherokee.
And I feel like, as a citizen of a coastal city, which he is, every time he hits the gas in the Trackhawk, he might watch the water line just rise toward his house like a little bit.
Look at us being all environmentally conscious today.
Tony
Burnouts.
says, I bought a 2005 330i ZHP convertible last fall on Bring a Trailer. It has 140,000 miles for $8,000. Long-term hold or enjoy then sell?
Enjoy that then sell because it's a convertible.
I think enjoy then sell then it's because it's a convertible, but if it works properly, that's a pretty fun car for $8,000.
Amazing cars to drive.
It's low miles too. That's probably an
E46
investment piece.
convertibles. Here's an E46 convertible, and you go hit a bump.
Well, yeah, they're flexi flyers.
They're
They just,
flexi.
yeah, no. I'd say enjoy then sell, and if you love the experience, go get a sedan because they were like the 4-door M3. They're amazing. Good cars.
Thank you, sir. We got. Let's see. How many more are there? 4. Zach. All right. Cool.
But where?
Mustache Mitchell. Is that the same Mustache Mitchell?
Mustache Mitchell.
I sell pet products.
Rides on
Lots of-
Tuesdays.
Lots of OT, whatever that means. I'm on my
Overtime.
Overtime. Parents insurance. 7-year, 100,000. I don't understand. What is there? Does he want a suggestion? I'm confused.
This is the guy that I think was 21 and was thinking about buying the Roush.
Oh,
Yes, we asked we weren't sure what he does for a living.
Oh, so this is a follow-up.
Lots of time on the road. No turns. Get the Mustang.
No turns on the commute.
Yeah, no, a Fiesta ST is like not good highway long-term car.
no,
That's
this
not
is,
what that
this is
car
the guy
does.
I think that was going to buy the Roush.
Yeah, or wasn't
Different
it
guy.
that or a Fiesta?
No, that was a different person.
Oh, Jesus, I'm confused. Sorry, I'm lost. We're going to move on. When driving back roads, Jeremy says, what is your routine? Do you drive the same road multiple times to scout it or make a loop? I make a loop. What do you do, Chase?
I don't go back. I don't want people to have called the police on me and
Yeah.
have them standing outside with like axes and and police officers.
You make all the noise and then
Get
you
the
leave.
fuck out of there.
Yeah.
There you go.
When I was doing a lot of filming on roads, I would get very self-conscious about a neighbor that would hear me making 5 or 6 passes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
one and done.
I do a big loop typically. Christian says, how does the Audi RS7 stack up compared to an E63 wagon? Which is more well-rounded? The wagon has more space
Yeah, I got to agree on that.
and more rear seat room. They're both fuck all fast though. They're both
stupid
like
fast.
ridiculous. I did like 190 miles an hour in the RS7 in Nevada, allegedly. Allegedly. No, but I really did. It's not allegedly. I totally did it. JF got very mad at me. The E63 is angrier. Oh, right?
Yeah.
Angrier.
There's something a little bit sanitized about all those Audis. And the A7 as a car is my favorite of the Audis, but they're still a little bit sober.
I feel
Even when they have
like it's
700
like putting
horsepower.
on a tuxedo. When I get an RS7, I really feel tuxedo-ish.
There's a
Whereas,
sense of humor in the 63 AMG cars.
yeah.
Like,
Whereas when I get in an E63, I want to wear one of those big Jacob & Co. fishbowl watches and smoke a cigar and
Is that another one of your
kick
sponsors?
a baby. No. Have you seen those watches?
No.
This is a watch called a Jacob Astronomia that's a big sapphire dome, and it has this fucking crazy like dragon scene happening inside the middle of it.
It's a snowball on your
It's
wrist.
it's like a
And
snow
if
globe.
they want to
watch.
sponsor the show, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
because they have the money.
Yeah. Chago says, "Hello, Adam Sandler from the hit movie Click." that's a Camissa joke.
Yeah.
Why aren't we fighting to the death over a difference opinion on the new NSX? Oh, do you not like the NSX?
I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
Okay. Wow, I
Oh,
didn't know you
Jason
love it.
hates so many things. I
Normally,
enjoyed it.
normally we agree on stuff. Okay, fundamentally, it's a failure on the face of it because here is a mid-engine car, and mid-engine cars can handle really well. And I would use the 981 718 as an example of the best handling mid-engine car of all times. It's neutral all the time, but it's forgiving. It doesn't want to spin. It's just amazing. So we're now at a point where a mid-engine car can handle like a front-engine car in terms of never biting you, but always able to turn instantly. An NSX should do that, but then because it has real actual torque vectoring on the front axle, it should be driven as if it was guided by the hand of God. It should be able to, and technologically is, able to have any cornering attitude it wants.
Right.
1 degree sideways, 10 degrees sideways, and never loop and never be inconsistent and just always be perfectly neutral at all times, which is the goal. It does nothing of the sort. It understeers like a pig at higher speed corners because and lower speed corners. Because it has too much power up front, and then it just kind of pulls itself out like an Audi. On high speed corners, because the front electric motors and the rear gas engine have very different torque curves, it doesn't have enough power up front, so it becomes basically a rear-wheel drive car. It's never consistent. It never does the same things twice. And because it has that torque vectoring on the front axle, the engineers had to decouple your steering feel from the front wheels. If you can imagine, you're driving along and the front left wheel is been given 1,000 pound-feet of torque to propel that side of the car and the forward, and the right side has been given 1,000 pound-feet rearward. Can you imagine what the hell's going to happen? Who knows what the fuck that would feel like in the steering wheel? So they've had to decouple all of those forces. So you have a car that is not neutral when it should be because of it, and then has no steering feel on top of it, and has a simulated brake pedal and whatever else, and then is smaller and lower and has a smaller engine than a Nissan GTR and it has a hybrid system. So you would think, wow, a 3.5 liter direct injected twin turbo V6 versus a 3.8 liter port injected 18-year-old Nissan GTR, slight exaggeration. Why is this car not even delivering better fuel economy? So if you're going to have all of the drawbacks of the complexity of that torque vectoring all-wheel drive hybrid system and none of the benefits in performance, because let's not forget, it's no faster in a straight line than a GTR, it's no faster around a racetrack than a GTR, and that car's 10 years old, then you damn well better give me a huge fuel economy benefit for having all that complexity, and it don't even fucking do that. And it's ugly.
And it's ugly.
And it sounds like
I know
shit.
none of that shit, but I'll tell you what, that shit is ugly.
And it doesn't have a fucking place to put a cell phone on the interior. So they talk about
These are all good points.
so
I think you're not that I think you're wrong. I found your dynamic experience to be different from mine.
fair.
I found the car to be very predictable, and it went where I pointed it, and then when I turned everything off and asked it to do slides, it did that too, and it didn't really act up.
See, I had it at Sonoma. I drove it at Sonoma Raceway, and it was early on. And
Did you ever drive a production one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You had the same issue?
The same issue. No, hold on. I didn't drive it on track. Same issue about it being numb. And we did No, I did drive it on track. I drove it at Laguna. We tried to do slides for camera for it, and it was just a pain. It didn't want to do anything.
That's weird. Me and Lee Keen both had no trouble at all
like
sliding
doing
it.
massive drifts.
Yeah, and
low
I'm not
speeds?
that good.
Yeah.
Like top of second, middle of third gear slides. Like,
See, that's where
not like
hold on,
sixth
wait.
gear.
The top of third gear on that car is like 75 miles an hour. That's not that
no,
slow.
it was probably 50, 55.
Okay.
I think
The faster
you were
you
entering
go-
at 550 and then wheel speed at the exit.
Right. The faster you go, remember, the more rear-wheel drive biased it becomes.
Yeah.
So the problem that I had at Sonoma coming down the Big Long, I think it's turn 5. Big Long turn is now you're approaching 90 miles an hour. 100 miles
that's
an hour at
fucking
the end.
fast. Yeah.
And the car starts out a little understeery as you're fading in power, and then all of a sudden the front motors run out of torque and are even shut off. I think at like 100 miles an hour, and the thing goes rear drive and it explodes fucking sideways on the way out. And I don't know about you, but I have no desire to be sideways accidentally at 100 miles an hour when there's a fucking wall right there.
No, I agree with you.
And I just think if you're going to have the hand of God guiding that front axle and you can do anything possible, why did that car ever scare me? Why did it ever do anything inconsistent? And why wouldn't this car be better without that stupid hybrid system?
Well, were you full off at that point?
Probably, yeah. This is years ago now.
See it. I think when it goes full off, I think the front hybrid system's off.
It shouldn't be. I mean, the
because
whole
it knows
benefit.
you want to slide it.
Well, the whole benefit of it is it should be able to let you slide and hold it.
I don't know.
This is
I don't
not
know.
a problem that I've had in any other mid-engine
I don't know.
car.
Try a 19. They changed the suspension a bit.
They did.
I
More
just had the
importantly,
19.
do you think it's pretty?
In certain colors, I actually do think
Looks
it's
good and
pretty.
white. But here's
in
the
certain
thing.
Colors,
Like what
certain-
colors?
Like I didn't love the orange I got,
No.
but I saw one while I was out that actually had a matte silver wrap on it that looked like Mercedes' matte silver paint, and it looked beautiful. It was really nice. I think it looks great in black. It looks great in.
Here's the problem.
Looks pretty good in white.
It's $200,000 and it can't beat a Camaro around a racetrack.
Well, I don't think it's $200,000.
It can't.
I think
Yeah,
it's
they're
like
the one.
$140,000.
No. Well, okay, they're knocking 30 grand off sticker at every dealership because they can't sell them, but they are.
See, doesn't that look nice? That looks nice.
That looks nice, actually.
Yeah,
Matte
because
silver,
it's
that looks
the
good.
silver
you're
looks
on
good.
Acura.com, aren't you? It's a beauty shot from a very strange angle, and also it looks strangely low, like they might have put 400 pounds of sand in the car to get it to tuck, which is things they do. But it's $200,000, and it really can outrun, first of all, a GTR or an SS1LE Camaro. It just isn't fast enough around a track to justify its complexity.
Okay.
And when you can buy a McLaren 570S for $40,000 less.
Man,
Okay,
those are everywhere in this city now.
McLarens?
are everywhere.
2,500 down, 2,500 a month, my friend.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, for a 570.
Jeez,
Yeah.
really? Crickets.
Yeah, you can lease it, man. You can lease
And
it and make a good deal. See, it looks
There's
good
a
in black.
lot of fanboys.
Yeah, but look
who
at
get-
that front end, man. It is atrocious.
Well, they look. See, you
It's a
see now
fucking
under.
Corolla.
Look under where the Acura badge is. You see that beak? That was silver on the first ones, on all of them, no matter what color you got. Now they made it body color, which is an
crickets.
improvement.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that are really upset about the bad review that I gave the car. First of all, I'm right. The market has spoken. It is not selling. Discounting
It is not selling.
Advertising
That's
it
true.
$30,000 off of sticker. They priced the car incorrectly. It should have been $140,000 fully loaded instead of $210 fully
Well, that's what
loaded.
they're doing now. They made all the most popular options standard at no extra charge now.
But
That's
doesn't
their
it
correction.
start at like 170? So they're
I
still
don't
going to
think
knock
it's
30
that
grand
much,
off of
but-
it. And the reality is this was an argument basically between Japan and Ohio. The whole car was flawed from the get-go. You have to have when you're making a car like an NSX, which is your halo, right? You have to have a very, very clear understanding of where you're going and what this car needs to do, or you're going to fuck it up. And originally it was supposed to be a front-engined
Yeah, I remember
car.
that. Like an LFA kind of thing.
Right, and then it became a transverse mid-engine car with a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter, and the U.S. wanted more power. So then Honda of Japan finally said, "Okay, we'll turbo it for you." Then they started to have problems cooling the turbos, and at the 11th hour, basically had to turn the engine 90 degrees and make it a longitudinal car. And then had to scrap the whole car again to make the whole thing work. And you can't have a 10-year development cycle on a car and expect it to be competitive when it finally lands, when everyone else has started 5 years later than you. That's number one. And what is the purpose of this car? The engineers that we talked to were so passionate about this car and they wanted it to be so great. But you can tell Japan and Ohio were killing each other over compromises baked into the car. And the Ohio guys, one of the engineers, great guy, super nice, but he was telling me the story about how he was dropping the kids off at church on a Sunday in a Ferrari. And when the car started up, it did the big, bark on a start, and he got dirty looks. So he wanted to make sure that the car started quietly and didn't make a lot of noise. That's a valid concern. If you live in Ohio and take your fucking kids to church, which you don't when you drive a supercar, right? People on the coast don't tend to live that way. And the other thing is that, they chose tires for the car and suspension tuning and all the rest of the stuff because they were so proud of the car's cold weather, deep water, hydroplaning resistance. And they're like, 42 degrees Fahrenheit through a puddle, these tires have great grip. Well, they fucking suck the rest of the time. And by the way, people who live on coasts don't drive their cars in the rain, except for you. And also, if you're spending $200,000 on a supercar and you plan on driving it every day, when the weather's really bad and it's 42 degrees and raining, you drive your fucking Range Rover. Period. So I think the whole car was based on a bunch of compromises that were probably not realistic to begin with. Then it took 10 years because they kept reversing course. And we get a car that's 5 years too late. It's too little too late. And it's ugly. And it can't beat a GTR. And it doesn't even get better fuel economy on the highway.
That's a thumbs down.
That is an argument. It's a thumbs down from Jason.
I hate to do it because you know the people that made these cars such passion about it. But
I found some flaws with the car, but I enjoyed my time driving it. And when I drove it on the track, I didn't drive this latest one on the track. I drove the other one. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that too. And it did
I
what
could
I
have had a
asked
bad day.
to.
It could have been a bad day.
Could have.
For me and Randy and Johnny and everyone else who drove the car track.
Couldn't you get like a wicked Porsche for that price? It's just going to make your nipples hard every time you get in it.
You can get an Aston Martin V12 Vantage S manual.
You can get a GT3. You can get a 911 Turbo.
If you get a GT3 with GT3 Touring with $50,000 left over, or an automatic. I will say, hold on.
GT3 Touring is $175,000. Brand new.
No.
Yeah.
A friend of mine just bought one at $150. That's if they
stole it.
No markup.
Fucking stole it.
The one thing I will say about that car is
no markup, no options.
The torque fill on the NSX. That is the brilliance of Honda showing through.
It does some really cool shit.
It uses electricity to boost the engine's performance while the turbos are spooling, and that's something really difficult to do, especially that smoothly. The engine feels naturally aspirated.
It also does it during gear changes, so they're seamless, which is pretty
it's amazing. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Credit where it's due.
Also amazing that Lamborghini's gotten 139 extra horsepower out of the same fucking engine in the last 10 years without using turbos.
That's amazing.
It rules.
Yeah.
It's very loud.
NA cars rule.
And it's so uncomfortable. My back hurts. Was there one question left, Zach, before we shut this bitch down?
This is the guy from Oregon.
Oh, the guy who his dad sells pianos or whatever the fuck. He wants an American option because he's racist.
Right.
Think he works on Yamaha pianos, by the way?
No.
I don't work on Japanese pianos.
That's funny.
American or European options, $30,000 used was, I think, the thing, right? I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, you
Ford
can do
Edge.
Grand Cherokee, 2-year-old Grand Cherokee
Grand
diesel.
Cherokee.
I mean, it's a Mercedes, so that it hits both the American and European option.
Yeah, there you go.
Mercedes
Grand Cherokee,
it.
30 G's.
That's the
I like
access
that.
his dad wanted.
I like it.
Look,
Sorry, Steven. Just jokes.
That's funny. That is funny. All right. Peter says, where are the cheap pro touring builds to be found? We talked about that recently.
eBay, Meekum,
all over.
car shows, hot August nights.
The Thursday of Barrett Jackson, not the fucking Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Were you in Scottsdale?
I did not go. I saw your post on the GTX1 though.
That was my first time at Scottsdale.
It's a fucking riot.
It
isn't
is amazing.
You ever been to Barrett Jackson, Christian?
No.
It's a complete shit show. It's a lot of fun.
Here's the thing. I first did Bonhams, and then I did Gooding.
Yes.
And then I did Barrett motherfucking Jackson.
Yeah.
And the culture shock.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
But did you go to Russo and Steel?
No.
Russo and Steel's the next step down.
Down?
Yeah,
No,
Russo and Steel, it's like a Ford Mustang followed by a cow.
That was...
They literally...
oh my God. I was, the Gooding auction was great because it was very, very dignified British guy who does this, and I don't know his name, but whatever.
No,
and he was
put your phones on
Nigel.
vibrate.
But he was fucking with everyone. I mean, he was making fun of everyone in the most British way possible, like they didn't even realize it. And then he was sucking money out of them. Like he was an expert. So there was one car, I don't know what the fuck it was. It was up to $195,000. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, in several seconds I shall be hitting the hammer and declaring this car sold is $195,000. You're not going to remember $195,000, but you are going to remember $200,000. So I shall say, would anyone please give me $200,000 and we'll remember it tomorrow? And after like 45 minutes of no one bidding on this car, somebody just sticks their hand up and like, they'll pay 200. And he didn't skip a fucking beat. He was like, right, 200, do I have 225? Yes. And he had gone, they were going up in $5,000 like dollar increments. And that motherfucker did presto changeo up to 25, got another 50 grand out of that car. And everyone was happy. And then you go to Barrett Jackson and it's ring, and I was so like, I need a Xanax.
Yeah.
I'm so freaked out by this constant noise. It was really cool.
The sideshow is better. The fucking flea market that happens down there.
Oh, I went and bought a coffin. You can buy a coffin.
Yeah. Did you see the fan boats? They have turbine-powered fan boats. No
That's
shit.
at least got a motor in it. What I didn't understand is why I'm at Barrett Jackson Auto Auction and I'm walking through the thing and they're literally selling coffins and mattresses.
Buy it now. 20% off if you buy it while you're still alive.
You're going to need it eventually.
So weird.
You guys got layaway.
Yes, they all do.
Of course they do.
Yeah, it was really cool. But there were some amazing cars that auction.
Last year I went to Barrett Jackson. I bought sheets.
Oh,
Bamboo.
Why?
Well done.
At the sideshow,
But
why
they
were
would you-
soft as fuck.
Impulse
Why did you
purchase.
encourage? I did see the bamboo sheets, and I did not make it over there.
I'm still sleeping on them.
They sell this on the internet. I understand.
Yeah, no. Amazon.
I saw a listing for this year for a enclosed trailer for paddle boats, and there was 2 of them. There were 2 lots.
Wow.
Paddle boats were also for sale, but separately.
At least they had motors in it. Coffin?
Yeah.
Paddle boats don't have motor. Paddle boat has your foot.
Snakeskin boots. Snakeskin hats.
Snakes and boots.
Snakeskins.
Snakeskin.
Skins. Whatever you want.
They were fucking, when I went last year, they were super, super, super repetitive about no guns, no weapons. No guns, no. I know Arizona's an open carry state, but no guns, no weapons in Barrett Jackson in Westworld. You walk in the door, you turn left, you go 12 feet. There's a guy selling
guns,
fucking samurai swords and guns inside.
Yep. And then every time you go to a concession stand to get a bottle of water or a beer or something, there's a sign there that says, remember, keep your guns to yourself. I literally signs that didn't say keep your guns to yourself, but literally, don't forget, no guns.
The sign should just say, winky face, no open carry. Yeah. Hey,
today
don't tell
it's
us.
Concealed carry.
Today we use the honor system.
It's crazy.
All right, well, there's your dose of cars at the end of a fucking podcast I've been wanting to do for a while. Thanks for coming down, Christian.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for third wheeling, Jason.
It's been a pleasure.
I don't know what the fuck you guys were talking about for 3/4 of it, but we did talk about cars.
Where can people find you right now, Christian, other than in our studio at this very second?
If you go on the interwebs, the sessiononair.com is the best place to. There's a little EPK that shows kind of what I do. It ends up with my ex-girlfriend calling me a fucking douchebag, so that's always fun. You can also sign up for the email list. I'm doing 2 shows in LA now. Hopefully the Grammy Theater and the Los Angeles College of Music are going to be constants. And then up in San Francisco, I'm now doing a 200-person venue in San Fran. And if you want to know about those dates, the easiest way to do it is get on the email list at thesessiononair.com. There's a little button. You can also find me the Session on Air Facebook page, and of course Christian James Hand on Facebook, and King Trut, that's KINGTRUT on Instagram.
Are there downloadable sessions anywhere?
Yes, if you go to the sessiononair.com, there's a thing that says radio shows, and if you hit on that, then my whole SoundCloud comes up with the 20-minute segments, and you can download. All of those are available for download.
Awesome.
But only a few special people have the hour-long show invite.
Yeah,
which is
but the 20-minute ones are good flavor.
It's a great gateway drug.
It's a great flavor.
Yeah, we'll get you in there.
Thanks for coming down, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I'm going to see you on Saturday at your birthday party
for my 50th.
This is going to fucking rule.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about it.
I can't wait. It's another party that Hannah's dreading to going to.
She'll bring a puzzle.
Yeah, if Hannah actually does a puzzle,
it's not actually going to be a party. It's going to be a show, so it'll be worth it.
I'm excited. And Cammisa, you want to plug anything?
No, I'm good.
Great.
plugged out. I'll be at your
He's going to be at the birthday
Saturday,
as well.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Fun employment continues. All right. Thanks, guys. That's the show. Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com. It's easy. All you need is to not require copyrighted music for your fucking show. Otherwise, you're fucked.
Yeah.
No, you need a microphone, you need a connection to the internet, and ideally, you need something to say. What is our next show? Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time, we got the drift idiot Sam Nalvin of Nalvin, also of Race Service. He's a fun dude. Drift idiot. We'll be here tomorrow, 3 o'clock Pacific time. I'll see y'all fools then. Peace the fuck out. Bye.